trade WCW. What in the fuck are you doing here? Monday Night Raw. Monday Nitro. Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. Brett Steve Brett. The new world order, brother. It's coming. We are at war.
Oh, yeah.
Which is sillier, I don't know. WCW Monday Nitro number 238, also April 10th of the year 2000. So yes, it is the infamous Reset show. They're in Denver, of all places.
Denver? What?
They say the air's thinner up there, you know.
Well, yeah. So pretty much the entire crew was just hanging out in and around the ring like geeks.
I saw some of these people, I had no clue who they were.
Molly Holly is still there.
Yeah.
Was that the blonde that I didn't recognize?
One of them.
There were like 360 people in her contract.
Yeah,
So, there were a lot of people still there.
If you're here, if you want to just go to the ring. Some of these people probably work in catering.
Well, only some of them.
I'm pretty sure Nails was getting paid for a while, and I don't think he did anything.
Good grief.
If I recall. I have to look it up.
So we are told that Vince Russo has called this meeting.
Yeah, the same Vince Russo swore we'd never see his face on television.
Well, they were sure to point that out, Brian, because, it must be big for Vince Russo to appear on camera.
Oh, I'll say.
Commentary. I mean, it's not the first time, but it was the first time it was this bad, where it was pointed out that the guys who produce the show are the real stars, and all the wrestlers are geeks who are lucky to be there.
Right.
So, Jarrett cuts his promo you talked about already. He's sure to name drop the World Wrestling Federation and Vince McMahon and all this. Russo comes out, and on the network, he has the exact same generic rock and roll song that the Road Warriors do on the old Saturday night shows. That made me laugh.
No, that's the music he came out to.
Oh, is it really?
And that was their music.
So, they have given the Road Warriors Vince Russo's music. Interesting.
The Road Warriors used that music.
I see.
Because when Russo came out to the music, the day of the show, there were all these rumors that the Road Warriors were debuting on Nitro. Because someone knew that they were going to play the Road Warriors music. But the Road Warriors weren't there.
But, Brian.
They gave it to Russo.
They were going to use Iron Man.
Yes.
Which was the Road Warriors song.
Okay, well, if he came out to Iron Man, then yes, somebody bothered to find out what fake song they were using and use the same one for him here.
Which I believe that makes more sense.
If they were using Iron Man in
they were using Iron Man in the 80s.
In 2000?
No.
Did he come out to Iron Man in 2000?
No.
He might have. Because Eric, I thought, came out to AC/DC.
Okay, someone find out for me what the hell
in the 2000s,
Russo used when he came out here.
I'm trying to think about that. No, in the 80s, they were using Iron Man, so why would they couldn't use Iron Man on WCW?
Why?
Because it's copyrighted.
Well, they were using in the 80s. It was copyrighted in the 80s.
It was a different time.
No, they were still on national
Well, I
TV.
regret starting this conversation.
They must have gotten the okay. All I know is whatever, he came out to the Road Warriors music here.
Okay.
However you want to figure that out.
All right. So the first thing Vince does is say World Wrestling Federation and Vince McMahon. It's honestly sad, the obsession this man has with that company. Says there's political BS that took him down. The scum at home is watching him right now.
He says, after 6 years of giving my life to the WWF, I came to WCW with one thing in mind, to beat Vince McMahon at his own game. Within a matter of weeks, he said, the new blood in WCW was not only getting back in the game, they were changing the game. He's talking about his first run.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Well, they did change the game, that's for sure.
Then the good old boys network kicked in, afraid of change, afraid of their jobs. They took me down. You scum at home know because you're watching me now. I was told there was going to be a change in direction, a change that I knew sucked. Everyone else knew. Guerrero knew, Benoit knew, Saturn knew. He's name-dropping all these guys.
Always plug the other guy's
WWF. Scott Steiner knew and they suspended him. That's all over now. It's done. Vince Russo's back in charge. Got a message for everybody in the ring. The old boys' management is over. Guys afraid to lose their spot. It's over. It's now their chance to seize the opportunity. You know, he's talking about their shitty stuff in wrestling, and people don't understand that it's shitty, and so they recap it, they recreate it.
Yes.
Okay. When Eric Bischoff debuted in WWF, however many years later, 2 or 3 years later, and he showed up, and they had so many fucking things they could have done with Eric Bischoff coming to WWE. First thing he does is he fucking hugged Vince McMahon.
Yep.
They just threw millions of dollars in the fucking fire. Well, lo and behold, Bischoff comes out here. They play it up like him and Russo are going to feud, and they fucking hug.
Yep.
They hugged.
It's amazing.
Bischoff does his fucking promo, and he's talking about all the mistakes that he made. Hall, Nash, Sting, DDP, and Sid, and the biggest mistake ever, Hulk Hogan. Where are these guys? They come out on the ramp. He starts throwing out all these inside references.
Oh, my God.
Sid and softball. No reaction whatsoever. Sid and scissors. No reaction whatsoever. He does a scissors line a second fucking time.
Yep.
No reaction whatsoever. He's burying DDP. He's just burying everybody. Russo strips everybody of the titles because he always does.
Well, he says it's gonna be fair. We're gonna level the playing field.
Yes.
So as it's pointed out, as later by the announcers, most of these champions did in fact win these titles fair and square.
Yes. So he strips all the titles.
This is communism in wrestling right here.
Yes. He buries Ric Flair.
Redistribution of championships.
Calls him a piece of shit.
Yep.
And then he asks Jarrett to give him his belt. He asks Sid to give him his belt. Sid says, come and get it, motherfucker. So Eric walks up there, and he says, give me the belt or you're fired.
Yeah.
Fucking Sid hands the belt over.
Yeah. The wrestlers are geeks. The guys in charge are the real stars. He threatened to fire Sid and send him back to West Memphis, and this made Sid look like a powerless lackey who was terrified of being sent back to his nothing-happening hometown.
It's going back to the hug. They broke everybody off into factions. I'm jumping ahead a little bit. There's like the Millionaires Club, and it's so convoluted I can't even remember the rest of them. Wouldn't it have been great if... Okay, wouldn't it have been better if Vince took one of the factions and Eric took one of the factions?
I think they eventually do that. I could be wrong, but...
And war against each other?
We're getting way ahead of ourselves.
This is like...
they are warring. It's going to be the New Blood versus the Millionaires Club.
And what did Vince do when he left WCW? One of the last things he did, he had the Survivor Series with the gang wars.
Yeah.
And you're basically doing it again here.
Of course you are. Now, I'm going to skip forward 3 segments where nothing fucking happens to get to what I got to get to here. So, Eric Bischoff and Russo are restarting. They say it's going to be a level playing field. They have all of the wrestlers in the ring except for the guys they hate. And the guys they hate come out on the ramp, right?
Yep.
Check.
He strips everybody of their titles. It's going to be an even playing field, correct?
Mm-hmm. That's what he says.
Okay. So then he announces there's going to be a mini tournament tonight to determine who will get a title match at the pay-per-view. Guess who's in this fucking tournament?
The 4 guys he hates.
DDP, Sting, Luger, and Sid. What? What?
Makes zero
Well, he's a moron, you see.
Fuck. All right, what the fuck? The guys he hates the most are in the fucking tournament after he stripped everybody of the title to have an even playing field?
And only the guys he hates the most.
Yes!
It's not like he matched up an established guy and a young guy. No.
And it's not even, like, it'd be one thing if all the people he hated were best friends. And so he's putting them in a tournament so they can all fight each other.
Right.
Okay? That's not this.
Yeah.
Like, Luger is for sure a heel.
Yes.
Sting's a babyface.
Yes.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck DDP is. And last I checked, Sid was a heel, but tonight he's a babyface.
Yes.
So...
Sting and Luger in particular have been killing each other for months. So they're going to fight again. Why should I care?
As long as Dallas brings out Kimberly, he's a babyface to me.
That's a fair point. Oh, what else? So
Scott Hudson, Tony, and
Scott
Madner
Hudson is out there
commentary.
this week. Yeah. There was a fan who was so hot I was certain she had to be a plant, but no, she's just
Yes.
some gorgeous woman living in Denver. So good for her. Lots of name dropping about guys in the other company. There was a line here when Bischoff first interrupts Russo and comes out. I think it was Madden who said, and this is a quote: "I've either died and gone to wrestling heaven, or woken up in wrestling hell."
Well, he woke up.
The latter. Mm-hmm. The answer is the latter. Yeah, all the inside comments. He has to say the scissors line twice because nobody reacted to it. Lunch with Michael Jordan, Hollywood premieres, blah blah blah. Bischoff says, "I made you, Lex Luger, a multimillionaire when the WWF wanted nothing to do with you." Why would you do that? If he's not any value to them, why is he any value to you? You idiot! You dumb motherfucker!
You know what's funny, too, is like, I scan the Observer before we do these shows to remind myself about what's happening.
This one was 47
But
pages.
I'm not like following the business every day of the week like I was back then. Okay, so when I only scan the Observer for what's going on, and I'm just watching this largely like 99% of the fans in 1999, 2000, I am like baffled by this show.
Oh, it's amazing.
I'm like, what in the fuck are you bringing this up for? And I don't even know. Like,
Dude.
he goes, when he's talking about Steiner and how Steiner knew that it was a mistake and they suspended him, I'm like, I fucking can't even remember what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
We'll get into it. This is booked exclusively for Dave's readers.
But even then, reading the Observer every week before I do the show, I still don't know half of what they're talking about. I've totally forgotten. Like, fucking, when, we'll get, Jesus Christ.
Hogan arrives to the building to a mixed reaction from the crowd.
He was wearing a white T-shirt, which I knew trouble was coming.
Either cake or blood.
Exactly.
One of the two. Sting meets Hogan, warns him Eric Bischoff is after him.
I'm not ribbing you, he says.
I'm not ribbing.
Cool.
And Hogan says, I'm not ribbing either, brother. So here's where they announce the tournament with the 4 guys Russo hates. The winner will face Jarrett for the world title of the pay-per-view.
They both hate him.
Yeah.
They both hate those guys.
What's that?
Bischoff and Russo.
Yeah, yeah.
They all hate him.
Yes, yes.
They put him in the fucking tournament.
Yes. Yeah. So
No
Paige,
Vamp, Bagwell.
No, all these guys who they're going to give new opportunities to do not get an opportunity to be in this tournament.
Yep.
Paige versus Luger in a tournament match. Both guys' pyro music is cut off, so they're all pissed off. I'm just watching this whole thing. Do you realize it would have made much, much more sense to just say, we're doing a battle royal and making the winner champion?
Yeah.
That would make much more sense.
By the way, the only improvement on this whole thing was the stage setup.
Which was just the Raw stage.
It's true.
If I recall correctly, I could be wrong here, but before Russo left,
But yes, you're right, it's better.
the whole thing was Sid and everybody like that. I think the idea was a battle royal that Tank would win for the title.
Whoa.
I know.
Tank was definitely going to get the title.
Tank was a guy that Russo wanted to put a title on.
God, can you imagine?
Oh, I can.
Oh, get out!
If I've been in charge.
Fuck, have you been watching this show?
Yes. So the announcers say, man, in their opening segment, the opening 20-minute promo, there were so many incredible moments. They said this like, nothing happened. Everyone talked. There was no moments there.
Yes.
Lex is a very bad wrestler in the year 2000. He can barely move. So Buff Bagwell comes out, and he distracts Paige.
He got pyro.
He's on the...
He tried to rape both women.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first he distracts Paige, and Lex hits Paige from behind. Then he goes over to flirt with Liz.
Kimberly first.
Kimberly first. Oh, fuck.
You're doing fine.
Okay.
Then Liz.
He comes out. He distracts Paige. Then he distracts... No, I do it backwards. He comes out and distracts Lex. This is not my fault. This is not my fault. This is their fault. He distracts Lex first. Paige hits a nut shot from behind. Then he distracts Paige. Lex hits him from behind. Then he distracts Lex a second time. Paige hits him from behind. I fucked all this up. It doesn't matter.
God damn it.
There were 3 distractions. 3 distractions by one guy in this one segment. Eventually, Paige is a diamond cutter on Lex and wins.
Yes.
All of this happened in less than 5 minutes.
I wrote total shit.
Okay. That's
Was I
fair.
too kind?
I should have recapped my own notes before recapping this.
It's like, you sound like Granny.
I am. He distracted Lex first, then Paige,
Oh, give
then
a
Lex
shit.
again.
For fuck's sake. Hogan is looking for Eric.
Hogan can't find Bischoff.
Hennig wants to know why he's not in the tournament.
Yes.
Russo calls it an oversight.
Yes, he apologizes. He books Hennig versus Jarrett tonight with the winner in the tournament final. So now Hennig is a step ahead of Sting, Luger, Paige, Sting, Luger, Paige,
Yeah.
and Sid. Because he's already 1 round ahead of them.
Yes.
Hogan still can't find Bischoff. A Tank Abbott promo. He is not, he says, some candy-ass wrestler. He is a shoot fighter.
God, stupid.
He does not know the difference between a wrist lock and a wrist watch,
He said this.
but he'll kick your ass. He came here for a guy who thinks he's a shoot fighter and calls out Goldberg. Goldberg got hurt and ran away as soon as Tank showed up. Until Goldberg shows up to fight him, he's going to beat the hell out of innocent victims.
Until Goldberg grows balls big enough to face him.
And he beats up Mark Madden and tears his shirt off because everyone must be humiliated on the show.
And that was humiliating. We saw a lot of Mark Madden here.
There's a lot of Mark Madden to see.
That's true.
Jarrett is upset with Russo. Russo says, "What do I look like, J.J. Dillon to you?" I guess this would be a sick burn. Billy Kidman storms out of a room. Tori asks if he wants to do this. The Red Rooster, who I just realized he stooged off Eric Bischoff here. He tells Hulk where Eric is. Hulk finds Eric and tells him...
I got to recap part of this.
Okay.
So, Eric says, and I quote, "Would. You know me better than that." That's their term of endearment.
It is.
Wood.
These grown men call each other Wood.
Actually, we have a friend called Wood.
Hogan tells him
Big
to
Wood.
stop all of this.
Hollywood.
Bischoff wants to talk in the office.
Hogan says, Sting and Sid say this time you're doing the end around on me. Okay.
Don't ask me.
Back that ass up.
Kidman comes out for a promo. He says, "Tonight is my night. I want to address the biggest egomaniac of them all, Hulk Hogan."
Dude.
For weeks, he says, Hogan has been bad-mouthing me about my size. Really? Well, what fucking interview that 99% of the people watching the show didn't see are you fucking talking about? Because he sure didn't do this on television.
He never did? No.
Says, "I don't have your body, but I have two things you'll never have, heart and talent. The only way to get that horrible orange tan is to be in the spotlight too long." He says, Hogan says that he can't draw flies, but who would know more about drawing flies than a pile of shit like Hogan? Hardcore, baby. And he calls his ass out.
He just as Hogan emerges from Bischoff's office, this is the exact moment when Kidman makes a joke about Hogan's bald spot.
Yes, Hogan hated references to his bald spot.
I'm sure.
In fact,
he's been bald for 15 years.
That ended up being one of the things that he lost his mind when Russo did that promo at Bash at the Beach and called him a big bald bastard. That's one of the things that totally set him off. In the 80s, no matter how big a heel you were, Roddy Piper, whoever, they did not want you mentioning that Hogan was bald. He hated that. Kidman comes out here,
Maybe nobody will notice.
throws out a line about his bald spot.
So, before we begin, there's a million things about why this all went wrong. This promo by Kidman sucked.
It's horrible.
This was a promo by a guy who has never been in a fight, trying to call out somebody to fight him, and it was awful. It's an awful promo. Hogan comes out, blows Kidman away in the charisma department. He also gets his music. They're talking about the interview. As Scott Hudson says, we saw the interview via the internet.
Oh.
When Hogan said Kidman cannot main event a indie flea market show.
What was that, WCW Live?
It was via the internet, Brian. The
Maybe
internet.
you should play the goddamn clip on your television show. How about that?
They say Kidman was so upset by this interview that it brought his work rate down.
Oh.
I'm not making any of this up.
Wow. I was unaware of that.
So, Hogan says, Kidman, you've been crying for months. You give the young guys a bad name. You're pee-whipped.
That's what he said. Pee-whipped.
So, Kidman attacks him. People go nuts for this. Hogan sells for a while and then just overwhelms him.
Just beats the shit out of
beats
this
him
guy.
and beats him and beats him and beats him and beats him. They're going to feud.
Right.
I'm supposed to be intrigued and want to see them fight more. Hogan beats him and beats him and beats him.
So, in the middle of this beating, Eric starts coming down to the ring with a chair.
Yeah.
So, we're supposed to believe that Eric and Hogan are in cahoots now. And as Scott Hudson says, Bischoff and Russo together was a work.
That's what he says. That whole
That's what he
thing
says
at the
on
beginning was a
commentary.
work.
So Bischoff
this show sucks.
hits Hogan with a chair. Kidman makes the cover. Bischoff counts to pin. This did so beyond zero for Kidman. It's not even funny.
Don't say. Yeah. You know what, Brian? This is nothing for anyone.
No!
Everyone involved came off looking worse than they did going
This
in.
did nothing for anybody.
By the way, Hogan gigged here.
He did, and it was not The Rock's gig. He
No.
was trying so hard to get blood to drip down his shirt,
He had
and it
to-
would not.
He had to cut himself twice.
He's sitting forward and leaning, like whipping his head down, trying to get blood to drip, and it won't drip. So
On his white shirt.
on his white shirt.
Right, he gigged right before the chair shot, then he gigged as he was on the...
Yes.
Anyway.
We go to the back. It's so important that Hulk Hogan's bleeding. We go to the back to show Ric Flair arriving at the building. We go backstage. Hogan has now smeared blood all over his shirt. Maybe somebody else's, for all I know. He's throwing a tantrum backstage. Boy, is he. He's cursing repeatedly. Ric Flair watches clips of the opening promo. It's not the part of the promo where they were talking about him, but then his music starts, and he goes out to talk about the promo that he didn't see. Says, Russo says, I'm old. I didn't get old. I got great. Hogan got great. Sting got great. Page got great. Calls out Russo, but Scott Steiner comes out instead. Says Ric Flair's boring. He bleached his crooked teeth. Says every champion in the WWF except for one guy has been someone you and your friends ran out of here. Which actually was true for a long time. He says any fat fan could be a 14-time champion if his friends were pulling the strings. That's just not true, unless it's a fake sport that I'm watching here.
Well, it is a fake sport, Vinny. Get to the point.
I guess so. He lowered himself to Flair's level. He's ranting and ranting and ranting, and Shane Douglas lays out Flair from behind.
Because WWF didn't want him.
I guess. And Steiner goes to the ring. We assume to kill Ric Flair off. We go to the back. Kevin Nash limps into the building. And then the screen goes gray for 16 seconds. There's just it's gray, right? Now, I later figured out it's a shot of the crowd, but they forgot to turn the light on.
Right.
But
yeah.
They're trying to show Brett, but it's just a gray screen with no commentary for 16 seconds.
Yeah, and then they went to commercial.
They go to commercial. They come back. They turn the goddamn light on. Hey, look, Bret Hart's in the stands. They say Bret's been gone for the better part of 5 months. It's been less than 4. Tony Schiavone says we have had literally a train wreck every segment here.
That's true.
He wasn't lying.
Scott Hudson says, we know the heat between Shane Douglas and Ric Flair. You know, the heat that was never, once, ever, not one time, ever mentioned on WCW television.
Plenty on ECW.
Ric Flair is running for Douglas. He can't find him. And then they cut from Ric Flair trying to find Shane Douglas to Mean Gene interviewing Shane Douglas.
Yeah, he found him.
How dumb is Ric Flair? Gene says, you got your release. What are you even doing here? Shane says, Flair's been making a mockery of this sport for 7 years. How? By winning championships and main eventing pay-per-views? You're right, a total joke. What is happening in the show? I'm so confused by everything. Sting versus Sid. This show, by this point, was almost an hour old.
I gotta mention, during that Douglas promo, he threw out a line about how Flair's ass had been franchised, which led to one of the great lines in the history of the Wrestling Observer. And Dave wrote that Flair had opened up a chain of restaurants called Ric Flair's Ass. Loved it.
You know what? If you did that in 2019, people would go.
He would make a lot of money.
Ric Flair's ass.
Yes. It's been franchised.
So we're
across the country.
Almost an hour into the show, and that's not even counting commercials. There's been 5 minutes of wrestling. Sting versus Sid for approximately 5 more minutes. As they're coming out, Hudson says, we called it Black Monday. We lost all the talent that was going to carry this company into the future. Talking about the Radicals and all that. Here's Schiavone goes on a rant about how Sid overcame the odds, won 4 matches in one night to win this title, and they just took it away from him to be fair. So they're doing this match. The wall comes out. He's got a table. The ref gets bumped. Sid hits a power bomb, but Wall hits him with a chair and chokeslams him through a table, and Sting wins by countout.
So it's Sid versus DDP later on tonight, right?
Sting versus DDP.
Sting versus DDP, with the winner going to Spring Stampede against
the Jarrett Hennig winner.
The Jarrett Hennig winner. Yeah. What a tournament. Fuck.
It's amazing. Coming up next, Tony Schiavone says...
Oh my God, the announcers are trying to explain what's coming up next, and there's a shot of their desk. There's 1,000 papers on their desk.
These poor bastards.
It looks like... I don't even know what. It's like they're...
It looks like Dave's floor.
Like they're working at Kinko's.
Yes. Coming up next, Tony Schiavone says, I don't know what in the hell's going to happen.
Okay.
That's what he said. Flair's in the ring, and there's not a break in the middle. Suddenly they went to commercial and came back. Tony Schiavone says that. They cut to the ring where Ric Flair is. He calls out Douglas for trying to be him. He calls out Douglas for tonight, says, you can't... He says something about you can't do it on the internet anymore. He makes a face and does the finger typing motion. It's hysterical. Also calls out Russo, because why not?
He says, and I think it was Hudson goes, we all know the heat between Flair and Shane Douglas. And I was like, we do?
We do?
How about that? No one ever told us that story as viewers of this television show.
It was never mentioned. We had heat between Shane Douglas and Hacksaw over the U.S. flag. Hogan is backstage. It's been like an hour. His tantrum has only gotten funnier.
Yes.
He's like throwing couches around. Son of a bitch, Kidman! Goddamn! Kidman! God damn it, Kidman! Kidman!
He beats up 3 Count all by himself. He vows to kill Eric Bischoff.
Kill Eric Bischoff. We have footage from the Ready to Rumble premiere in Hollywood. The highlight of this is Vampiro pointing out the specific street corner he used to sleep on. David Arquette breaks a guitar over Jarrett's head, and we are told David Arquette will be there on Thunder this week.
Oh, my God. Here he comes.
He's on his way. Can't stop him. Jeff Jarrett versus Curt Hennig.
Oh, my God. I could not believe my eyes, okay? It's Curt Hennig versus Jeff Jarrett, which, like, any normal booker would just book the match.
How hard is that to fuck
Just go fucking have a match.
Just go wrestle each other.
You
two
win.
Good wrestlers.
You got 8 minutes, whatever. Instead, they have a total bullshit match. Hennig puts the sleeper on Jarrett. Jarrett goes to fucking sleep, and suddenly, his old music plays, the old Mr. Perfect music. Out comes Sean Stasiak.
Yeah.
who was not that guy last week, by the way.
No, he was not.
Scott Hudson says he was meat in WWF.
Yes, he
I'm like,
was.
Okay, wait a second. Okay, I know that this company and this man, Vince Russo, are completely obsessed with WWF.
Right.
And this is the only thing that's any good in the history of wrestling is WWF.
Right.
Okay. And so now you work for another company and you want to be WWF and be Vince.
Exactly.
And bring in all the WWF guys. Okay. If there's one fucking guy,
Right.
I don't want you to remind me of who he was in WWF. It's fucking meat.
He was there, and he had a cup of coffee, and if you wouldn't have brought it up, I bet you nobody would care.
You have big fucking stars in this company that are WCW guys. Booker T, Sting,
Vampiro.
the Nature Boy, all of them. And you've got to put over that you got meat?
Well,
I'll take you one step better, Brian. Not only did they say Meat was in the WWF the last time we saw him, the next sentence Scott Hudson says is, we heard about what happened in New York.
I didn't.
No, we didn't, Scott.
I still don't know what happened in New York.
When I thought about it,
was it the camera thing?
but wasn't he like recording Davey Boy's conversation? and got
Right.
fired?
That's right.
Now, Brian, you wrote 2 books on this company.
Yes.
We've been talking about this show for 4 or 5 years now, about Nitro.
Yeah.
We all forgot.
Yes. Because even if you remember, it's fucking irrelevant.
It's completely irrelevant.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. And then he makes his big debut and he's going to do a move. I think it's like a spinning.
Like an
Like-
F5?
I watched it.
No, it wasn't F5. It's like
I think it was supposed to be an FU, but he's supposed to go over the other
No,
way.
it's not even an FU. It was supposed to be like a spinning Samoan drop.
Sure.
Okay.
He can't get the guy up.
No.
right. What?
How?
And it's Kurt Hennig, by the way.
Yes.
If you can't get Kurt Hennig up, it's not his fault. I promise you.
And by the way, Sean's a big guy.
Sean's a very big, strong man. So they're spinning around a couple times and eventually throws him down in some way. I gift this and shared it with the world and pointed out this is Sean Stasiak, the first thing he ever did in a ring on Nitro. And somebody replied and they said, "This looks like looks like an inverted torture rack," is what they called it. But I read it as a tortured rack, and that is so much more accurate.
It was
It
a
is.
tortured rack.
He hit him with the tortured rack. So anyway, Jarrett hits a stroke and wins. The other thing to add here is that as this match is going on, we are told that Hulk Hogan has been told that Eric Bischoff is in a skybox.
Oh, cool.
We go to break, and we come back. Bloody Hulk Hogan, whose white shirt is now covered in red blood,
Finally.
is legit going through the skyboxes, walking amongst the fans, looking for Eric Bischoff.
Covered in blood.
These fans are disgusted and horrified and mortified. And skyboxes, by the way, those are the
Yeah.
expensive seats.
Oh, yeah.
That's where they feed you.
They were not happy to have bloody Hulk Hogan
No.
walking
I can't
through their
imagine.
room, bleeding on the nachos. Ric Flair goes for a walk. Kevin Nash is on the phone. Promises, tells somebody they should get there. Mean Gene interviews Sting. Sting says he's been loyal to this company since 1988, but now he's targeting the company's golden boy. Which I
Who's
assume...
he talking about?
I assume
Jarrett.
it's Jarrett.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm guessing. Ric Flair versus Shane Douglas.
This was the best thing on the show because of Ric Flair.
Of course.
He just had a nothing match with Shane Douglas.
Talked to him a bunch, yeah.
But it was the best nothing match on the show. And then fucking Russo comes in with a goddamn bat.
He just walks in with a bat and hits Rick.
Somebody has interfered in every single fucking
That is correct.
match on this show.
That is correct, Brian. As we will recap, it's a 100% interference rate.
So Russo whacks Flair with the bat. They destroy Flair. And then Vince Russo, a grown-ass fucking man,
Thank you.
stands over Ric Flair and starts throwing DX crotch chops.
Right. He also stole his watch.
Because DX is stars.
I was so embarrassed
Yes.
watching him throw crotch chops. Dude.
So during the fight, they're talking about Kevin Nash's phone call and asking if he was talking to Scott Hall. They gave all the shit lines to Scott Hudson on the show. We know where Hall has been, he says. We know the real story.
Where's he been? Rehab?
What's the real fucking story? Tell me, the viewer, what the goddamn story is.
I presume he's been in rehab, but I don't know where he was at this exact moment.
This match,
Might have crashed another car. That's very likely.
So then they move on to the real story behind Shane and Flair. They explain Shane's interviews were on the internet.
Oh, the internet.
In the dirt sheets.
The internet.
And hotlines and mainstream media.
Yeah, he calls them dirt sheets when he was working on the Observer hotline.
Right.
So then they say, they're talking about the show, and there's the subset of guys, the big stars, the Hogans and Lugers and Stings and Pages. And then they just announce, we're calling them the Millionaires Club.
Yeah.
And that's how the name was termed.
Cool.
No one gave it to themselves or announced it. They announced it to say, we'll call them the Millionaires Club. And Russo's a goddamn batshot and it's a DQ. Why even bother? Kevin Nash is limping around backstage. He limps out to the ring, and Scott Hudson says, this man was part of the Clique.
He does his promo, and they start talking about him shooting.
We're shooting here, buddy. So, yeah, actually, I enjoyed this promo, if I'm being honest. Nash is talking about the jack-offs in the back. He got so much joy out of saying jack-offs on TV.
He called them jag-offs.
Jag-offs at one point.
I guess maybe standards and practices wouldn't allow jack-off, but they would allow jag-off.
That's actually entirely possible, yeah.
All I know is Mike Awesome leaving ECW as the champion. No showing dates for ECW, showing up on WCW television, Heyman claiming he had a signed contract for 2 more years, $200,000 a year, whatever. This is the top story in the Observer this week.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. But if you're just a fucking viewer, Nash is doing a promo, and a tall guy gets in the ring.
Yes.
In street clothes and a fanny pack.
Yeah.
Don't forget the mullet.
And he beats
I never will.
up Kevin Nash with his crutch, and he says that he heard that Bischoff and Russo were back in the saddle and knew it was an awesome opportunity that he could not pass up. They cut away. We never see him again. There's maybe another reference to him. I'm not even sure. But, like, that was his big debut. It was nothing.
Now,
they could have fucking got anybody. He's got no ECW title. He's not billed as the ECW champion. He's just, hey, it's Mike Awesome. What's he doing here? And as a viewer, you're like, I don't fucking know, and I don't fucking care. Am I wrong?
As memory serves me right, Mike Awesome had to go back to ECW.
Yes, he went back and dropped the title to Taz.
Yes.
But, like, it was so stupid. Like,
the announcers did say he's the reigning ECW champion, but that was it. He's out there. He's got his mullet, which is the parted mullet is amazing. He's got his unbuttoned shirt with his chest hanging out, and a fanny pack and jeans, and ECW. There's a lot of illusions in ECW. They claimed he was much larger than he actually was.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, I'm not saying that it was not a big story that they got the ECW champion.
You're saying they did nothing with the ECW.
No,
champion.
not even that. It's like ECW, their TV show that week did an 0.9 rating. Okay. So whatever station they were on,
Sunshine Network,
of all of the people that had access to that channel, less than 1% watched that week's ECW show.
Okay.
They're out here running this angle like all of these WCW viewers had any fucking idea what was going on or why this was important or who this guy was or gave 2 shits about Extreme Championship Wrestling.
So Mike Awesome, ECW always claimed he was 6'6". Of course, it was a lie. He's not the first wrestler to have his height exaggerated, and won't be the last. But he comes in, and in real life he's shorter than advertised, and you put him in there with Kevin Nash.
Yeah, great idea.
So he looks 5'10".
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay. Hogan is now on the phone, still covered in blood.
Okay, this here. Hogan is inside the limo, and he is telling his lawyer that he wants to sue Kidman.
Is that it?
He wants to file a lawsuit against Billy Kidman. On what grounds?
I don't know.
He called you bald?
Probably.
He beat you in a
Libel.
match? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, so the storyline is that for whatever it was that Kidman did, whether it was because he called him bald or whether it's because he beat him in a match with interference, which happens on every fucking show 30 times. Hogan wants to file a lawsuit. He's on the phone with his lawyer. He wants this filed by the time he gets home, okay? Mm-hmm. He is immediately run into in the limo by a white Hummer,
yes,
which smashes into his vehicle repeatedly, rendering him, by the way, like he's dead.
Sure.
They bring him out on a stretcher.
The brink of death,
He's
yes.
practically unconscious. He's covered in blood. He's broken and just destroyed. Out of the white Hummer on national fucking television, on a show that did better than a .9 rating, steps Eric Bischoff and Billy Kidman. They are guilty.
Yeah.
They try to kill Hulk Hogan. Do you think a lawsuit will come out of this in storyline?
I'm guessing not.
Probably not.
I could not believe that they were doing an angle where Hogan's going to file a lawsuit against Kidman for pinning him in which wasn't even a match. It wasn't even a fucking match. It was an angle. And he gets run over and attempted fucking murder. And what do you think is going to come of this? Nothing. This show sucks.
So, this, of course, is the exact point where my wife comes home.
Oh, great.
So I'm watching this show, and an angry, bloody Hulk Hogan is on the phone, screaming at Billy Kidman. And his last line, where he says, I'm going to such and such to Kidman, such and such and such. And also he says, I'm going to eat Bischoff's ass.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That is what he said.
And my wife says, what did he say? And at that point, there's nothing we do to rewind it and clarify. He may have said, eat Bischoff's ass up. There's a mumble at the end.
Brian, you want to do a callback to what we were talking about on Raw?
Oh, the poem. You can dance and you can prance. But when it comes to relations, keep it in your pants.
Keep Eric Bischoff's ass in
and
his
actually,
pants.
I can't even find the poem, so I did that by memory.
And then they actually had 2 cameras out there for the stupid Hummer attack. So the EMT is attending to Hogan. Kidman chases them away and tags him with NB.
Yeah.
New blood. Because there's nothing...
He must have gone to the announcers to find out what they were called.
That's right.
He must have. Sting versus DDP. The announcers say, hey, we got extra time. We're going until 10:30. And I was so pissed.
Right.
I didn't want the show to go any longer. I'm watching this 2 days after WrestleMania. And Scott Hudson says, the new day has dawned. Indeed. So they wrestle for 3 minutes. Jarrett confronts Kimberly. Vampiro attacks Sting. Paige wins. So it's Paige and Jarrett now for the title of the pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. So Jarrett hits the ring. He swings a guitar. Paige ducks. Kimberly gets hit. A non-wrestling woman has been hit with a guitar and laid out. And we go to the break.
Hey, I'll give him credit. This guitar appeared to be made of paper.
That's true.
That's
so
good.
They were very, very safe.
They replayed it 100 times afterwards, which ordinarily I would not criticize them for, but Kimberly Page puts her face in her hands and bends over well before Jarrett even raises the guitar. The timing was not perfect. And then Paige, wife's been knocked unconscious. She
could be dead.
She could be dead. Paige's response is to carry her in her arms with her head hanging limply, swinging back and forth. Yes. Don't do this, everyone. If your wife is laid out by a guitar attack, leave her be until the EMTs get there.
Where are you going to be where you get attacked with a guitar?
In wrestling, apparently, any given Nitro will happen 5 or 6 times. Russo and Bischoff tell Jarrett to go cut a promo.
We got 3 minutes left, buddy. Let's do some talking.
I guess that's what happened.
No standby match, apparently.
Yeah, so Jarrett threatens to show Kimberly some more wood. So Paige attacks Jarrett. Steiner attacks Paige. Luger attacks Steiner. All these bodies are coming in. And in the middle of it, Sting hits the ring. And in case any of you have forgotten why Sting was Sting, Sting's comeback in the middle of this pointless segment on the middle of this pointless show is so great. As he's running wild and the whole fucking crew.
Yeah, they're all going crazy. And all I could think was, who are the baby faces?
I think it's the Millionaires Club.
I thought that too, but like the way they're shooting the show, you're supposed to be thinking like the millionaires are the bad guys and the new blood are the good guys. But I watched this show and it's like I have great sympathy for these millionaires. These fucking young guys are assholes who don't deserve their spot, as evidenced by the whole thing involving Billy Kidman. It's just it's ridiculous. I had no idea who was on what side in this brawl.
Right.
The other thing is that
I'm like, why is Booker a heel now?
Yeah,
he's out there with the cat. What?
Thank you for bringing that up. So most of the guys in this segment have been major players in this show. Jarrett has been a big guy in the show. He's out there. Vampiro, The Wall, all these guys have been a big part of the show. And Booker has been a big part of this company for years. Frankly, just by longevity, if nothing else, he should be in the Millionaires Club. What is the cat doing out there?
He's apparently one of the millionaires.
No, he's one of the New Blood.
What?
Yes.
I think so.
He's on Booker's side.
Yeah.
Booker's New Blood?
Booker was helping the New Blood.
How's Booker not a millionaire by now?
Well,
sure
that's his own problem.
He's wearing a nice suit and everything.
He was. But the point is, it would not surprise me if the cat just went out there on his own. He said, I want to be on TV for this segment.
May as well have. I wouldn't have gone out there.
So the
I
last
would have
shot...
stayed as far away from this as possible.
The last shot is Vince Russo and Eric Bischoff being happy on the stage, but then Bret Hart comes out from behind them, and they have an awkward stare down, and the show ends.
I have no memory of this
Dude.
return of Bret Hart.
This show sucks.
Are you ready for this, Vinny?
Let's get this over with and go home.
There's only
not sure
4
I'm
matches. He'll be all right.
The finishes on the show were pin after 3 different distractions by the same guy, count out after outside interference, pin after outside interference, DQ due to outside interference, pin after outside interference.
Wow.
100%!
I don't even think in his first run we ever had 100% outside interference, did we?
At least there would be different fuck finishes, you know?
Sure, yeah.
Somebody win despite interference, or there'd be a no contest or something. But no, every finish in the show was a guy comes out and either attacks somebody or distracts them, and there's a finish.
The show is complete garbage.
Do not watch the show, everyone. Thumbs down.
They needed an extra week to put this together.
Yeah. Thank God they didn't have another one.
Russo.
Excuse me?
Well, they are.
I guess it is Russo.
It's like J-Lo and
Yes.
yeah. So it's Russo.
I like Bishu.
Bishu are sitting back for... They got a bottle between them and they're sitting at the desk going, fuck, what are you going to do with the show?
What are we going to do for this finish?
Yeah, it
2
was,
hours to fill.
It was Monday
What if somebody
afternoon.
runs in?
We got 6 matches to do finishes. Can't just do wrestler A hits his move and wins.
Oh, are you kidding me?
It's nuts.
Nobody wants to see that shit.
Have to do a distraction. And a distraction.
What about
And a
the winner?
distraction. I'll do a goddamn distraction.
2 weeks.
What a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
The show is awful.
It was very bad.
Well, let's go to your car.
We may.
Bring the cameras.
Let's do this.
WCW Monday Nitro number 239, April 17th of the year 2000.
God damn.
We
Jesus.
open with one of the very worst pay-per-view video recap packages I've ever seen in my life.
It was horrific.
I will do my best to
Why
explain,
bother?
to explain to you, the listener,
Dude.
what I was able to discern from this random collection, not montage, collage.
Let me tell you what I got.
All right, you go
because
first.
I guarantee that you got more than I did.
Okay, you go first.
Okay?
Mhm.
9 million things happened.
Okay,
I think we're clear on that.
check.
Jeff Jarrett won the world title.
Yes.
Tammy Sitch appeared.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Steiner won the U.S. title. Right? Am I wrong about
maybe,
that one?
I don't know.
It came out as U.S. champion
See,
at the end of the
you
show.
got that. You got that, and I did
Okay.
not.
And somebody won the tag team titles.
That I got.
Other than that, I have no idea what happened. I guess it was it Spring Stampede? Is that where they played this weird rodeo music?
There's some horrible WWE Network edit
Jesus.
music in.
I'm not sure it was, Vinny.
Well,
It was Spring Stampede.
it is. Yeah. All right. Here's what I got out of this. Team Package beat the Mamalukes. Douglas and Bagwell beat Harlem Heat.
You're already so far past where I was.
Sting, I think, beat Booker T. Hogan and Kidman did something. Funk and Dustin and Norman did something. Steiner beat Awesome. Vampiro and Sting had a fight.
Wait, Awesome was the U.S. champion?
I think it was Vacant.
Oh,
They did
that
like-
could be.
Yeah. Vampiro and Sting had a fight. There was a 6-man. Tammy debuted.
Do we know who was in the 6-man?
I believe Candido won
Oh, it was a 6-man.
for the Cruiserweight title.
It was a 6-person.
6-way, yeah.
6-way.
Yeah. He pinned Prince Ikea. I don't know who the 4 dudes are. Tammy debuted. Chronic debuted. Douglas and Buff are the tag champs now. Vampiro pulled Sting through the ring. Jarrett is world champ. And then I wrote, I'm sure I missed at least 8 things.
Oh, easily.
Just a complete mess.
A disaster.
The show hasn't even started yet, and this is off the rails. Security is shown all around the building, making sure the doors are locked. Nobody can get in.
Well, they announced it's invited guests only tonight. So I was like, why are there any baby faces on the show? What's the point?
I don't know.
Why did they let in the guy who ended up challenging for the title at the end of the show?
I don't know. The point is, we got, after that awful recap, we got 30 seconds showing nothing but security, promising no one will get into this building.
I want you guys to remember, by the way, as we recap the show, that Vince Russo himself said, this is not an exact quote, but it's goddamn close. The first thing that we always think about when putting the show together is logic. Remember that quote? When he talked about logic?
I pay a little attention to what the man
Let's
says.
go over the logic. No, this was at the time.
Okay.
Let's talk about the logic of the show.
So we open with a shaky crane shot. Like the whole building's about to collapse in and of itself. There's confetti flying, there's balloons, there's flyers falling from the sky. Out comes Russo and Buff and Shane Douglas and Chris Candido and Tammy Sitch and Scott Steiner. So they drop thousands and thousands of balloons.
Let me stop you for a moment. Mm-hmm. Also coming out are Riot Squad members.
See, I didn't even notice that until the very end.
Okay, so listen. I realize that the heels were the ones who were made fools of. Okay, that's good, all right? But is there a worse cliche than the Riot Squad guys that end up being the baby faces in disguise or the heels? Can anybody listening to this, I will PayPal you $10 US if anybody can find me a single incident in the history of professional wrestling that Riot Squad members have come out and they weren't somebody else in disguise, okay? I only want one. It's not even WCW. Any national company, it has to be a national company. I don't think anything non-national could afford Riot Squad gear anyway. But if you can come up with one single time in the history of professional wrestling that the Riot Squad guys have come out in those outfits, and it hasn't been somebody in disguise, I will give you, the first person, $10.
I remember for a long time on WWECW, there were Riot Squad guys. And everyone knew it was the Bashams, but I forget if it was ever revealed.
Well, we'll find out.
That might be.
I don't mean like, listen, if it's like a 4-week storyline where the Riot Squad people come out for 4 weeks and on week 4 it ends up being somebody else, that doesn't count. I'm talking just like a one-time deal where there were Riot Squad police out there and then they just went to the back.
Yeah.
And nobody was under the helmets.
So the point is that I was going to make is they drop all these goddamn balloons and the fans say, hey, let's pop balloons.
Oh, yeah.
So for the rest of this promo, which had to go a half hour, you can't hear anything guys are saying because they're drowned out by the cannon fire, the cacophony of balloons being popped out of the
It was
place.
much longer than 30 minutes because they were out there for 30 minutes before they started talking. Yeah. They just played this victory music. These fucking balloons fell from the sky. They popped. Russo had to walk around celebrating.
Yeah, there's a term, pop, in wrestling. It's a euphemism for a crowd reaction. These were literal pops.
Yeah.
The balloons going pop, pop, pop. So Russo starts talking, of course. He's the real main eventer. The first thing he does is talk about how they won all the titles except the hardcore title, and he promises Terry Funk will lose that soon.
Well, the first thing he says is, I'm better than all of you.
That is the very first thing
We got to
he said.
start there.
I didn't write that. He's better than all of you, and you're all here because of something he said. So then he has to talk about the WWF. And
of course.
That guy in the black cowboy hat, JR, you can kiss my ass. He's so obsessed with that place. It's really quite pathetic. He introduces Jarrett. At this point, I figured out that, or at least they explained to me, Kimberly turned on DDP at the pay-per-view.
Yes. We got to mention that when they mention the WWF, they must bury Jim Ross.
Yeah.
They're very upset at Jim Ross. And Jarrett comes out, and he really buries Jim Ross. I guess because they released him,
Who knows?
or whatever the story, his contract.
I don't care.
This is very important, Vinny.
All right.
How do you bury WWE and Jim Ross and the promotion and the announcer when they are massacring your ass, destroying your ass,
I don't know.
crushing and ruining your ass?
They came off as very pathetic and wretched, and they were the people. They were the guy who got dumped by the hot girl and never move on. In fact, Jarrett went so far as to say Jim Ross is in State College, Pennsylvania, which is where Jim Ross was for Monday Night Raw doing his job, which you guys were not doing because you're watching Raw. So Jarrett, the new world champion, issues the challenge to Diamond Dallas Page for the triple cage match just like is in the main event of the brand new movie Ready to Rumble. Then Russo brings out Eric Bischoff and Kimberly. And Bischoff brags about screwing Paige and also brags about screwing Kimberly in a different way. Kimberly starts cutting this promo, and it's a bad promo, but I couldn't focus on it too much because was there a vacuum cleaner running in this building?
I don't know.
What was the background hum?
Well, maybe they were vacuuming up all of those balloons.
I guess.
That popped.
I guess.
Got to get rid of those things.
So she is upset about standing in Paige's shadow. She's the star, and she's looking out for herself now. So Bischoff takes the mic back, and he goes on a rant about how the building is locked down and they're all secure. As he is ranting, we cut backstage where Dallas Page conveniently drives up and he has to beat up security.
Yeah.
He storms into the building.
He says, I'm going in. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. He beats up 4 men by himself.
Yeah.
They're all shitty security, I might add.
Yeah. He passes Shawn Stasiak and Kurt Hennig hanging out together in the entranceway. He goes down to the ringside area, and here everyone thinks the Riot Squad will stop him, but no, they let him go to the ring, then they help him, and hey, Brian, the Riot Squad were Ric Flair and Sting and Lex Luger in disguise.
I can't believe it.
And they all clear the ring, and they play Sting's music.
Yeah.
I don't think I succeeded in explaining to the viewers how long
No, of course not.
and boring
No.
and pointless this segment was.
This was so long and fucking boring. And it was all about, you'll never guess, getting heat. But you know what? As a fucking fair man here, and I am a fair man, they got heat on the pay-per-view. All of the heels won. They opened up with a segment that was all about heat. And then, for the rest of the show, the babyfaces began to get their revenge.
Including the end of the segment.
That is a fucking whole lot more than I could say for Raw nowadays.
Fair point. So after the break, Bischoff is backstage chewing out a bunch of guys. The future Misfits in action, and Bam Bam Bigelow's there, and Jerry Flynn and Booker T. It's mic'd horribly. But they are all shamed and told to leave, and as they're walking out, Vince Russo physically shoulder checks Chavo Guerrero.
Yeah.
He's got to look like a tough guy.
Oh, wait till later when he stands up to both of Chronic. Yeah, that happened.
It's true. So Russo goes to get Mike Awesome. Security walks in, quits.
Hold on a second. 4 geeks walk in. I'm like, who are these fucking guys? What low carders are they that I forgot about? Luckily, it wasn't my fault this time. It's security.
Sure.
They walk in and they say, Eric, you never told us we were going to get our ass beat by wrestlers tonight. We quit. I was like, wait a second. You are security at a wrestling show.
Right.
You didn't think that your job description might include getting in a brawl with fucking wrestlers? What the fuck did you think you were there for? Watch the show and eat concessions? You're fucking security at a goddamn wrestling show.
Just hang out with the Riot Squad.
No shit, there might be a brawl involving wrestlers. You fucking idiots. They quit.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, what I got out of this was Eric found 4 chumps at a bar or something and paid him to work security at his vent.
I guess.
What a fucking cheapskate.
Yeah.
Why don't you hire real security?
So then, they leave. Eric stares at a phone.
Yes.
And there's a phone on his desk, and he stares, and he stares, and he stares, and the phone doesn't ring.
No. It's there.
Like, the phone doesn't ring, but he picks it up. And then we can hear Hulk Hogan's voice.
Yeah.
And he's threatening Eric and says he's going to beat him up in 5 minutes.
Okay, so I'll defend this partly, okay? If somebody calls this phone, it won't ring. But I'll see a little light that goes on right there. Maybe that's the kind of phone he had. But if I pick up that phone, it's not a speakerphone.
No.
One way or the other, this was bullshit.
It took me a minute.
There was a lack of logic in this segment here.
They faded to black and then it really sunk in what happened. We did not hear the phone ring.
Yes.
But we did hear the voice at the other end of it.
Yeah.
These idiots. So remember when I said Shawn Stasiak and Kurt Hennig were hanging out together as Paige stormed by them?
Yes.
Shawn Stasiak versus Kurt Hennig.
Yeah.
Before the match even starts, Miss Hancock comes out to watch with, as they called it, her writing tablet.
Writing tablet.
She's laying out the 10 Commandments, I guess.
Vince doesn't like the word clipboard. Vince Russo.
Scott Hudson explains she is not taking notes to call into the sheets. So they have this.
I love that they took a guy off the Observer hotline, and he's the guy that has to rant about the sheets. It's actually hilarious.
So, imagine,
I'll take over, Vinny.
all right.
Sean Stasiak is the perfect one.
Yeah.
Facing the former Mr. Perfect.
Right.
Okay. So, I'll just give everyone a quick update on 100 things that every WWE fan should know or do before they die.
Yeah, a book, I believe.
Yes, coming out in July.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
I had 4, I believe, left to write when I was in Hawaii. So I turned in 96 or something like that, and I said I'll leave 4. So if we think of anything at the last second, we can do the 4 extra ones.
Okay.
So I had to come up with 4 extra ones to do. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to have R.D. Reynolds write one on the worst gimmicks in WWE history. So he wrote one. And so then I thought, you know what? If I were lazy, which I'm not, I would write the best gimmicks in WWE history. And the whole entry would just write The Undertaker. That's the whole thing. I didn't do that, but I thought about it. Point of this is, The Undertaker is the greatest gimmick in WWE history.
Sure.
It's a gimmick that should not fucking ever have lasted more than a year.
Fair.
It should have been Repo Man. It should have been Skinner. It should have been any of those
Saba
shitty...
Simba.
Papa Shango.
Yeah.
Papa Shango basically was The Undertaker.
Pretty close.
He was a guy that did magic, right? Mm-hmm. But The Undertaker ended up being a gimmick that was like one of the biggest stars in the history of this entire business ever in any company for decades, okay?
Sure, yeah.
One point there was also a fake Undertaker.
Right.
Fucking sucked.
It did.
Okay. If anyone else would have played The Undertaker, this would have been Repo Man. There's only one man that could play The Undertaker and have made it such a success, I believe. Mm-hmm. It's Mark Calloway. Yeah. Can you imagine Ric Flair being the fucking Undertaker?
No good.
Or Shawn Michaels?
Kidman?
Hey, kid. You with the mullet. You're a dead guy now. Wouldn't have worked. You know what I'm saying? Well, we learned during this match that not anybody could just be Mr. Perfect.
You don't say.
Sean fucking
You went on a
Stasiak.
5-minute rant to say that?
Yes, because I don't want to bury Sean Stasiak by just pointing out that there's no gimmick he could have played, which is actually what I thought when this was over. I'm trying to be kind of nice about it. Or it's just like he was given a hard... You know, it was a rough road to hoe.
He did have big shoes to fill.
He had big shoes to fill.
And boy, did he not fill them.
Jesus God. And
This match sucked.
And then they
okay?
put him in there with the original Mr. Perfect.
Yes.
And I'm like, even as Kurt Hennig, he is 5,000 times more perfect than the perfect one here.
So it's like they're wrestling underwater. Because they're doing this half speed and it's terrible.
2 minutes and a ref bump.
There's a ref bump and Stasiak. The ref goes down. Hennig hits the fisherman suplex, but there's no ref. Why is there no ref? Because one of the announcers says, Charles Robinson caught that glancing blow.
Yeah. Might have got him right in the eyeball. So
This is a terrible show, Brian.
it's horrible. So
All right, I'm going to get angry.
the perfect one hits Hennig with Nux, knocking him out.
Yeah.
He can't just pin him after hitting with Nux. He's got to hit his move.
Yes.
Like Triple H.
Yeah, well, we'll get to him.
We'll
get to him.
Oh, we will. His move is an F5.
Yes! In 2000.
I never realized how hard the F5 was.
So we've learned today that Sean Stasiak is not as good as Kurt Hennig or as good as Brock Lesnar.
No, neither of them.
No.
You fucked this up. He fell on his own face.
This is the movie he was trying to do last week where he fell on his ass.
Yeah. Maybe just like, just cover the guy.
Maybe just do a sleeper.
So then Stasiak starts stomping on the guy, and they go to the back in the middle of stomping.
Yeah.
Because Hulk Hogan has arrived.
Hulk Hogan shows up dressed like Suburban Commando. He gets out and confronts the cops, tells them to move. They say no. He says move. They say okay.
But to be fair, I know you're getting angry.
I am.
What happened was, the cops say, you're not allowed in. And Hulk Hogan stands there, and he says, I'm going in. The cop says, you're not going in. And so Hulk Hogan says,
Are you waiting for me to say something?
no, he just stares at him.
I see.
For like an uncomfortable amount of time, but not long enough, actually. Because after staring at them for this uncomfortable amount of time, the cop finally goes, let him in. He used a Jedi mind trick
He did.
to get into this goddamn building.
He is Obi-Wan Hogan. So,
Hoagie-Wan Kenobi.
Hoagie-Wan Kenobi.
This fucking show.
So, Hogan
He
then...
fucking used magic to get in.
Hogan then storms into the building, going the exact same path with the exact same camera angle that Dallas Page used 5 minutes prior.
Yes.
I'm watching it's like the show is a rerun of itself.
Yes, I had deja vu.
Hogan gets to the entranceway, like the curtain right before where he walks out, and he stops, and he throws in the brakes, and he looks back like behind the camera, and someone's telling him, "Yo, Hulkster, you can't go that way. Go around." So they cut to a crowd shot. Hogan goes around the stage and then goes down the ramp.
What's he do when he gets down to the ring? He beats the shit out of the perfect one.
Yeah, he's still there. Sean
Who just got to win over
like
Kurt Hennig.
10 minutes has been stomping Kurt Hennig. And
He
Hogan...
beat his ass like a fucking geek. Left him laying.
And he helps Hennig to his feet. So we go to the break and we come back. And Hogan is cutting a promo.
May I recap his promo?
Have at it.
He says, "I've listened to the fans and critics alike. Yes, I'm getting older. So is everybody else in that damn locker room, day by day. I haven't lost a step. I've only lost a half step. I still have something to offer the wrestling business. I'm here to lead by example. As far as my spot in this business goes, being a lead dog, if there's anybody in the back who wants to come take my spot, I'm ready to kick their ass." He says, "You can mess with the character of Hulk Hogan. I can slip on a banana peel for the 1, 2, 3. But when Eric and Russo pull what they did at Nitro in the pay-per-view, they're messing with the man, Terry Bollea. You're taking food out of my children's mouths, money out of my pocket. You mess with the right..." He was worth $30 million, by the way. "You mess with the wrong guy, because I have more heart than both of those guys put together. If someone wants to take my spot, they better be man enough to come out here and beat my ass and take it. And fuck you, Kidman. I'm sick of you. If you want my spot, get your ass out here and try and take it." You'll never guess what happened. Fucking place goes crazy for Hulk Hogan. He's the biggest babyface on the entire show. The biggest star by far.
That all happened. It was funny because I was watching this, and it's not like it's a bad promo, but it is not a classic Hulk Hogan promo.
No, but it was a goddamn good promo.
He never said brother. He never said Jack. He never said dude. Never talked about pythons. And I thought to myself, you know what? He's being Terry Bollea.
Yes.
And then he says, "I'm Terry Bollea."
Yes.
All right. So Kidman appears on the screen.
He's being Billy Kidman.
Oh, boy, was he.
He's not being Pete Gruner.
Pete Gruner would be much cooler. He says, "Hogan, I'm going to come back there. You can come back here." So Hogan starts storming to the back, and Kidman, they're in a parking garage. Kidman is standing there with Torrie Wilson. Eric Bischoff is in the background. Kidman gestures around to the concrete floor and the walls and the pillars and says, "Look at this place. This place is great."
I don't know why it was so great.
Why?
He's somewhere.
Great. It's a parking lot.
Somewhere is better than nowhere, Vinny.
It really is. It really is. So we go to break. We come back. We get one of the few shining lights of pleasure on the show. Hulk Hogan throwing a tantrum. "You son of a bitch! Kidman! God damn it, Kidman! Kidman!
You son of a bitch, I'll kick your ass!
Kidman, you son of a bitch!" It never gets old to me.
No,
hilarious. I can watch Hogan throw a tantrum for hours, which is a good thing, because he did. Gene interviews Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett issues an open challenge to anyone in the New Blood. No millionaires, he says.
Oh.
We get The Wall versus Terry Funk.
Sad to know the man who accepted that challenge is not a millionaire after all these years in this business.
It's actually really amazing.
Yeah.
It just speaks poorly about his financial plannings. So, 2 notes about The Wall. One, he finally ditched the shirt and tie. Just has
That's right.
black Under Armour shirt. 2,
didn't care enough.
He has on. They called it Nitro Vision, the big screen where they play the entrance videos.
Yes, horrible.
They put the infamous, the notorious shot of The Wall on top of the hotel in his entrance video.
They should have. That's what he's most famous for, Vinny.
What is his legacy? Being on top of that damn hotel. So we get more clips from Spring Stampede of Terry Funk yelling at Dustin Rhodes, and then we're told that Dustin has been fired. Okay. So it's a Terry Funk hardcore match in the year 2000.
Oh my God. Funk beat his ass.
There's a bunch of chair shots.
Chair shots to the head. Chair shots to the back.
Moonsault to the floor.
Goes for the moonsault. The Wall isn't there. He lands on his fucking head.
He sure did.
Sold like he was dead, which he practically was. Mm-hmm. Still fought to his feet.
Pile driver on the announce desk, which does not break.
Mark Madden said Funk was born on leap year, so he was really 224 years old. Does he know how leap year works?
I didn't catch that. That's actually a funny line.
But it's not true.
I know it's not true.
He would be, what, 12?
Well, what he's saying
15.
is when they list Funk's birthday as 50 whatever, they're only counting every fourth year.
I see.
So you're doing it the other way.
I see.
Yes. So Funk and the Wall brawl up by the stage and begin to fight by a go-go dancer's cage.
Yeah, what was there a go-go dancer's cage there?
Why is there a go-go dancer's cage by the entranceway at Nitro?
What's going on
No one ever
here?
used this at any point during the show.
Maybe they were getting ready for Impact.
And there were hot women all over the place.
Remember when they had those women dancing
Lollipop
in TNA?
was in one.
Yeah.
So Vince Russo personally carted around a shark cage for years, hoping a go-go dancer would cross his path.
He may have checked it.
That's actually totally believable.
Thank you.
Funk won with a foot. Oh, God! They're brawling backstage. And as they're fighting, I still don't know what happened. Tables rain from the sky.
Well, yes. First off,
It's like when they had the nets holding the balloons over the building everywhere. There were also tables in there that didn't fall for a half hour.
I could be wrong here, but as they're brawling, first Funk gets his head slammed in the go-go cage. He starts screaming, "You son of a bitch!" And he's throwing windmills.
He gets bleeped repeatedly.
I could be wrong, okay? But I am 95% certain that he called the Wall a chicken fucker. I'm almost positive.
I know the moment you're thinking of, and
I'm virtually
the
positive.
cadence certainly fits.
Yes. And yes, Wall was standing there, and goddamn fucking motherfucking tables fell from heaven
Cloudy with a chance of tables.
and landed on the goddamn Wall, and then Funk pinned him.
yeah,
What?
I don't know.
And by the way, let me explain that one more time. Tables fell from the fucking sky and landed on the Wall. Funk pins him, and it's to the back immediately.
Yeah.
There's no follow-up to tables falling from the fucking sky.
No.
There wasn't on this show. If you hadn't written it down, I wouldn't have remembered. And I just watched this 5 minutes
You
ago.
forgot about the tables falling from the sky.
I forgot about everything on this goddamn show.
Chronic wants a title match. They want Vince Russo to grant them a title match because they lived up to their end of the deal. Russo says this is not a good night. They will get their title shot when he says so. And Chronic, which for those of you who don't know, is a 6'6", 300-pound Bryan Adams, best known as Crush, and the other 6'6", 300-pound Brian Clark, best known as Wrath. A couple of big, scary, jacked-up monsters. And Russo looks them in the eye, says, "You'll get a title shot when I'm good and ready," and he walks through them and out the door.
Yeah,
Because they're afraid of Vince Russo.
because he's a tough guy.
How do you not get angry at this show?
Oh, I'm getting angry.
All right, here we go. Here's one to make you angry. We get a close-up a shot of the contract hanging on Jeff Jarrett's door. Jeff Jarrett locker room door, open contract, bunch of paperwork, and a blank spot. And the announcers are talking about it, and suddenly we see a hand with a red Sharpie. And they see the Sharpie begin to sign the contract. And they say, "Who is it? Who signs?" And we fade to black. Now, there's a camera guy right there. And I know this because I'm looking through his camera at what he's shooting. So I figure, okay, we'll go to break, we'll come back, and the cameraman all he has to do is zoom out.
No.
The cameraman did not know who signed this contract. Jeff Jarrett walks up, sees the contract, he's very angry, he calls Vince Russo an idiot. He's not wrong.
You know, the cameraman could have panned up when those fucking tables fell from the sky, too.
That would have helped
Didn't
as
think
well.
about doing that either.
Would have helped as well. Dallas Page is cutting a promo. He's wearing a Sopranos t-shirt. I forgot the Sopranos actually started in the year 2000. He's wearing a Sopranos t-shirt as the Mama Luke's music is playing.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
He's got a match with Mike Awesome later, and Gene goes, "What do you think about your match with Mike Awesome later?" And DDP goes, "Whatever." Then he cuts a promo about it. "I'm pissed off about last night. This Kimberly Bischoff thing isn't over by a long shot. I'm going to kick Awesome's ass, I'm going to leave him laying, and I'm going to tear him a new ass."
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like whatever.
Nah.
Gene was aghast.
He says
Tearing a new ass.
He says he hopes he gets a chance to put Eric in the hospital before Hulk does. So the Mamalukes, as noted, we could hear their music. They are in the ring for a match, but we cut backstage where Chronic is destroying the Heresies. So Chronic then goes...
They were supposed to be the opponents.
They're supposed to be the Harrises versus the
Mamalukes.
Mamalukes for the number one contender spot. But Chronic takes out the Harrises and then go out and they take out the Mamalukes. So there's destroying them and no-selling everything and laying them out. And what should happen? But for the second time in an hour, a guy hits an F5.
Yeah.
Bryan Adams he did much better than Sean Stasiak. Clark hits the meltdown. There's double chokeslams for everyone. They were total monsters and killers here. Crowd was totally into it. And Adams cuts a promo. It was much better than the promo he cut on Superstars that made fun of our last show.
That is the lowest fucking praise I've ever heard. This promo was fucking terrible. And all I thought was Wrath that bad a promo that they were like, Bryan Adams, you handle this one.
I'm trying to think if I've ever heard Wrath or Adam Bomb ever cut a promo.
I'm not sure I have either, but it's inconceivable.
Or the Night Stalker.
He could be worse.
So, anyway, he tells Russo, you don't want us working against you. He says chronic a lot, and by the end of this, they had music, and that was it.
It's one of my favorite things on the show. It's ever since Russo came back. This is one of the things every time that Russo is running a program I laugh about. So music plays, and the announcers are baffled. They can't figure out what's going on. So they cut to a shot of the announcers as they're baffled. And sitting in front of them is a stack of papers a mile high. It's like fucking this high. And they're like, God damn, I don't know whose music is playing. I'm like, what's on those fucking papers? I'm like, what's on those papers in real life? You know what I'm saying?
I would suspect the actual script for every single one of these promos, like word for word.
No, I mean, if we're imagining this is a sport and it's real, what's on all these goddamn papers?
I don't know. I don't think we're supposed to believe it's real.
Well, anyway, it's Vampiro.
Vampiro's in the ring.
Now, this was weird to me. He says, I got a message from my brother in pain. I was like, pain? I thought it was paint. Was it paint?
That was their tag team name, yes.
Well, now they're the brothers in pain.
Yeah.
Because he's specifically bringing up how Sting knows nothing about pain.
Which begs the question, how can you be a brother in pain if you know nothing about pain?
That's a goddamn good question.
So
Logic.
He runs down Sting. He promises to devour him in 3 weeks of Slamboree. Fans are booing and calling him a loser and chanting boring. Sting's entrance plays. Lights go out. The song plays. Vampiro is looking around in the spotlight in the ring. He's
11 months
to the end of the show, and then
after the death of Owen Hart.
Well, yes, yeah.
Sting drops from the ceiling at 90 miles an hour.
He does hit the ring. I shouldn't say hit the ring, but they put the brakes on. But
I guess
descended very rapidly.
He landed so hard, I have no idea how he didn't break both of his legs. This is the first time he rappelled since the death of Owen Hart.
Well, I don't even want to get off on this. So
it's bullshit, Vinny.
It's bullshit.
That's what it is.
It is total bullshit. So Sting drops in, but at least he does have a harness, a functioning harness that Owen Hart lacked. So now he has to unhook it. So Vampiro, meanwhile, in the 15 seconds it takes Sting to unlash himself, poor Vampiro just has to stand there and act scared. Like the biggest geek you ever saw. He can't throw a kick. He can't throw a punch. He can't strike a pose. He has to, put his hands on his face and turn around and look at the crowd and crouch and cower and hide forever.
So I can already hear the Russo creeps going, God, Bryan and Vinny, they complain that there wasn't enough safety with Owen Hart, but then when they actually do have safety for the guy, they complain that it takes him forever to get out of the harness. Yes. Don't have him come down from the goddamn ceiling.
Don't drop him.
Have him come from the back! Or from the crowd or anything under the fucking ring. He doesn't have to come from the goddamn ceiling.
There were 20 guys sneak attacks in the show that did not involve a guy doing a harness.
No, he doesn't need to come from the fucking ceiling. Him coming from the ceiling didn't do one goddamn thing for their business.
No. So eventually Sting gets unhooked, and he looks at Vampiro.
Now I'm mad.
And Vampiro looks at him, and Sting just beats his ass. Could they have done anything more to make Vampiro look like a geek here?
No, he beat the shit out of him.
Sting beats him and stops to talk. He's talking now. He's hit him with a bat and kicked him and stomped him a few times. And Sting has the mic. He's cutting a promo. Vampiro is on his knees, cowering, going, no! Sting is beating him and beating him and beating him. He hits his finish, and he leaves.
Yeah. Get his heat back.
I guess.
He got sucked to hell last night.
Hogan is still looking for Kidman. He's storming backstage.
It's been an hour.
It's been an hour. He's still throwing a tantrum. He's still angry and furious. But, as you recall, Hogan has two things to say to Kidman, which are, goddamn Kidman, and Kidman, you son of a bitch. Hogan storms into this hallway, and what is before Hulk Hogan but a table of youngsters? And I know he said he's Terry Bollea, but this is still the Hulkster. and he catches himself. And he just shouts as angrily as he can, "You kid seen Kidman!" And he storms off.
Caught himself. Like a professional.
He is a professional. Jeff Jarrett bitches to Russo. We still don't know who the challenger is. DDP versus Mike Awesome.
Russo says, I got you into this. I'm going to go get you out of it. I'll go talk to the guy.
So Mike Awesome now in his first match on Nitro. Looked great. Great shape. Hair looked great. Got all his big moves in. The springboard plancha to the floor. Looked awesome.
Highlight of this match is Diamond Dallas Page is getting a chair, and Mark Madden launches into a rant, tirade.
And what did he have to say, Brian?
WCW says they're relaxing the rules.
Relaxing the rules.
They're going to let the guys fight like it should be.
Now, do you remember what he said about the fans about this?
The fans?
The viewers at home. He informed us all, nobody tunes in to see a DQ.
That's right, yeah.
Nobody
Logic.
tunes in to see a DQ. At this exact point, Chris Kanyon hits the ring and attacks Mike Awesome for the DQ.
Well, you're close, Vinny. I was fixing to write that, but that's actually not exactly what happened. Kanyon hits the ring, and it's not a DQ. Mike Awesome kills him with a German suplex in the middle of the ring, okay? Let me repeat that. Kanyon runs in, and it's not a disqualification.
No.
Mike Awesome then goes outside, and he lifts up the apron, and he reaches under the ring, and he pulls a table halfway out from under the ring. Ref calls for the bell.
Producer Ken is so shocked he just punched his mic.
That was a disqualification.
Now.
That he began pulling a table from underneath. He didn't use the table. He didn't even set the goddamn table up. He didn't even bring the table into the ring. He was grabbing the table when they called for the bell.
Okay, I must argue a fine point with you. As soon as Kanyon hit the ring, the referee began to call for the bell.
But the bell ringer didn't see it?
I guess.
I see.
The bell did not ring. You were correct there. The bell didn't ring until Awesome went for the table.
Well, if we're going to debate the fine points, then the bell rang one ding, but then stopped.
Okay.
And there was a pause, and then the ref kept going like this, and it ding, 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 ding.
So anyway, now, maybe this is a Morse code message we have to decode.
Classic WCW here. The first of many DQs after we're told there will not be DQs. Fans don't tune in to see DQs.
Fans do not tune in to see DQs.
No.
So Awesome hits this German suplex. He sets up a table. He's going to powerbomb through it, but he's interrupted by Kevin Nash's music.
Excuse me, Kevin Nash?
Kevin Nash's music plays. Now, recall one segment earlier, Vampiro was interrupted by Sting's music, and he got jumped from behind by the babyface. Mike Awesome is distracted by Kevin Nash's music, and he's jumped from behind by the babyface.
That happened.
Because the 7-foot Kevin Nash, who's undergone dozens of knee surgeries, tiptoes through the crowd and sneaks up on Mike Awesome like a ninja and lays him out and powerbombs him through this table. And Nash and Page and Kanyon, who I guess is a millionaire now, they all celebrate.
Well, let's talk about the fact that Mike Awesome debuted last week.
He did.
This week he has already been put through a table like a fucking geek by a guy who's actually gigantic.
Yeah.
So now he doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as he did last week. Or when he was beating up Spike Dudley, who was a small guy.
He is significantly worse off now than he was before he got to the company.
Yep, that's true.
He was a bigger star before he got there. Russo is shown trying to talk the mystery man out of taking this title shot. Now, I hated the show. This show made me angry. This show made me furious. But...
oh, God, not this.
One of the very last episodes of Monday Night Raw I watched all the way through before I just threw in the towel. Michael Cole was on commentary when Brock Lesnar made his big return. And the last time we saw Brock, he was tearing Cole's arms off. And Matt Cole just screams, "Oh my!" And I ranted. And I went on an explosion.
That's right.
When Tank Abbott comes out here a week after beating and humiliating Mark Madden before the whole world, Mark Madden pisses himself. He panics. He cries out for help. This show, WCW Monday Nitro on its deathbed. It's on life support at this point.
Yeah.
Better, more logical, more internal logic than modern era Monday Night Raw.
Vinny, I realize that you've beaten diabetes, okay? But let me tell you something.
Yeah.
If you hadn't quit Raw when you did, you would be dead right now.
Likely, yeah.
That is how bad. If that right there was enough to make you quit Raw because of the lack of logic, you would. There's no way if I made you watch every single one of these Raws from that moment till today that you would still be alive. It's impossible.
I believe you.
Thank you.
I believe you. Buff Bagwell and Shane Douglas are cutting a promo on Team Package. So the tag team champions here, they address their top challengers for the tag team titles and challenge them to a pair of single matches at Slamboree.
What? Why?
I don't know. Well, except that Shane Douglas has been wanting a single match with Flair for 20 years, as we've been told here.
Yeah, worry about that when you don't have the tag titles.
Speaking of which, did you notice how ghetto these tag team belts are?
Well,
were these replica toys?
They could have been.
So Douglas wants Flair the pay-per-view. He wants Lex Luger.
That stinky ass Ric Flair.
He didn't want that stinky ass.
He had to make sure that he had a lot of profanity in there, as much as he could get in.
He wants Lex Luger tonight. Lex Luger is there to accept, but he has a stipulation in mind. He will face Shane Douglas in a singles match tonight, but if Vince Russo interferes before the final bell, then Lex Luger and Ric Flair will be awarded the tag team championships.
Dumb babyface. Should have said anybody.
Well, not just that. And yes, but a tag team title change via DQ in a singles match? That sucks.
Vinny, just wait.
Just because something else sucks more later in the future, Brian, does not mean this does not suck now.
Did I say it was any fucking good?
No, you did not.
I'm just warning you so you don't have a heart attack this next year we're watching.
Tank Abbott comes out for a promo. He still wants Goldberg. He says he's going to beat up innocent idiots who think Goldberg is a hero. So earlier in the show, we were introduced to the Chicago Blackhawks owner, who must have been in tight with somebody in WCW.
Flair.
Oh, that asks a silly question.
They were friends for decades.
The same guy, they signed the contract with him and Lex in 88 on this guy's yacht. He's there with one of his hockey players, Bob Probert, known hockey fighter. So Goldberg goes after the Blackhawks owner. Now, Tank goes after the Blackhawks owner, and it's important because Goldberg is a trained wrestler. Tank basically had no idea what he was doing. So Tank goes to yank this, I don't know how old the guy was, 60-year-old man, we'll say. Basically, he pulls him over the barricade, he grabs him for a pile driver, and carries him over to the ring like that, and then slams him into the apron. I thought he was going to drop him on his head. I thought he was going to drop him on his face. I was terrified by what might happen here. He throws him into the ring. Bob Probert, the enforcer, jumps in to make the save. There's a bunch of referees to pull him apart, and there you go.
God, he carries him in pile driver position. Just rams him gut first in the fucking hardest part of the ring.
You've been better off fighting the hockey player.
Oh, my God. How did Bruce McArthur go along with this? He could have been killed.
He cannot possibly have known what he was really getting into.
No.
Hulk Hogan is still looking for Billy Kidman. Jarrett and Russo are still pitching at each other. Lex Luger versus Shane Douglas. For the third match in a row, somebody's music plays and somebody is distracted. Out comes Buff Bagwell, and he grabs Lex, and Shane hits Lex in the nuts for the DQ that fans do not tune in to see. They brawl outside. There is a Sting fan. He has a thick black coat on, and a big black wig, and a Sting mask. And they say, hey, on Thunder, it was Vince Russo under that mask. Who is it tonight? And they brawl over by this guy, and the Sting fan hits Shane with a bat, and he pulls off his mask. It's Ric Flair. Amazing. What an amazing coincidence. And they start having this fight. Russo comes out and saves Douglas. And as Russo and Douglas are shouting at each other, the announcers say, there's heat there.
There's heat.
Hogan finds the white Hummer in the parking garage. This fucking 2-hour storyline is coming to a close. As he walks towards the Hummer, we go to break.
Perfect timing.
We come back. Hulk Hogan is beating up Kidman. Torrie Wilson hits Hogan with a board in the back. Hogan responds by grabbing her by the throat, pushing her into a pillar so she can't escape, and rearing back to punch her, and in all likelihood, kill her. Billy Kidman makes the save. He saves the damsel in distress. They're doing this fight. Suddenly, we cut to a shot to Eric Bischoff in the distance. We're looking over his shoulder. The camera is behind him. We see the back of Bischoff's head and a tiny little Hogan and Kidman fighting way over yonder. So Hogan throws Kidman, presses him overhead into a dumpster. He starts to stalk Eric Bischoff. Bischoff jumps into the Hummer. It won't start. Bischoff runs away. Hulk jumps into the Hummer. It starts right up for Hulk. Even Madden's like, oh, of course it starts now. Hogan drives the Hummer into the dumpster repeatedly. Mark Madden says, quote, Billy Kidman could be dead. And Hogan drives off after Bischoff.
Man, I can't find a goddamn thing about Bruce MacArthur to find out how old he was. That's all I cared about for all of this. And I was over this. I'll kill you, says Hogan. Well, he... man of his word. He tried. He beat his ass hither and yon, I wrote.
Kidman is stretchered out of the dumpster.
Yeah, the geeks are telling him to breathe.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the tip. Jeff Jarrett's mystery opponent is Scott Steiner.
Came out to Steinerized. He's a babyface this week, I guess.
In 2000.
Yeah, can you imagine?
So, no.
Literally, let's cut to the chase. Nothing happens, and Booker T runs in for the goddamn DQ.
A DQ, you say?
A DQ in the main event?
Right after, I think it was whoever said the fans do not tune in for a DQ, we got 3 DQs in a row.
Yes. Right after they said that. I'll play your music soon, Vinny.
Oh, we're almost done.
Calm yourself down.
The end is in sight. Hulk Hogan is still hunting for Eric Bischoff.
Hogan apparently got out.
Fuck you!
He got out of
I've
the
been watching
Hummer.
this for hours now.
He got out of the Hummer. He got a bat. And now he's going to go beat his brains in. They show him running around with a bat backstage. And then, what better time to cut to a recap of the pay-per-view? Because they want to sell you the replay.
God.
Can you fucking imagine?
I hadn't even thought of it that way.
That's what they were doing. And they cut back. Hogan finds Eric.
Okay, Hogan goes into the locker room. There's one door. Hogan walks into the locker room. Bischoff runs around a table and out the door.
Yes.
Hell of a hunter, Hulk. You really put the screws to him there.
So they are supposed to be running to the ring, but Hogan, he did one jog at the beginning of the show. And from that point forward, he did nothing but walking. Now he's walking with a limp. This guy's shot. Gets in the ring. He starts beating up Eric in the corner. And who should come out? Well, first Russo comes out.
The destroyer, Vince Russo.
Who should follow him out but Bret the Hitman Hart?
Now, you recall, if you were unfortunate enough to remember last week's show.
No, this is the point. Yeah. I don't recall.
Okay.
I'm
happy for you.
I have no memory whatsoever of the return of Bret Hart after his career-ending concussion.
I am sincerely happy for you. Okay, last week's show ended with Russo and Bischoff being all happy, and Bret came up behind them, and they all stared at each other.
I know, I saw him standing on the ramp, but my point is, I don't remember any of this return of Bret Hart. It can't last more than like a week, right? It's got to be the end of him. He comes out, he gets in the ring, and they decide to do a cliffhanger.
The cliffhanger is Hogan has Bischoff in the corner. Hogan and Bischoff are both looking at Bret. The camera is looking between them at Bret, who is rearing back to hit somebody with a chair, and we fade to black.
Well, he was looking at Hogan when he swung that chair. And the answer to the mystery, everybody, because you don't need to watch Nitro ever again, he hit Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
Why did Bret Hart come back and hit Hulk Hogan when he has suffered a career-ending head injury and is never going to wrestle again? Can you explain any of this to me?
Logic. The answer, Brian, is logic.
I forgot.
Miserable. The show was miserable.
It was
watching the show was misery.
I said that!
By repeating it.
I'm going to play your music, and I'm going to find out more information on this Bret Hart situation.
Okay.
Here we go. It took a lot of work.
The finishes on this show were pin after weapon shot, pin amidst mysterious fallen tables, no finish because there was a fight, not a match, a DQ that fans did not tune in to see, a second DQ that fans did not tune in to see, and in the main event, a third straight DQ that fans did not tune in to see.
What an awful television show.
That show was shit, Brian.
Was
you
terrible.
were way too easy on it. I was way too easy on it.
Wow.
Now, Raw, while it was better by leaps and bounds, like 1,000 million times better, it left me almost as angry.
Okay, hold on. What month are we on? April?
April 17th of the year 2000.
So, on the May 3rd episode of Thunder, which we're not going to be watching, Bret Hart made a run-in during an over-the-top battle royal where he hit Hogan with a chair. What? Hogan was in an over-the-top battle royal on Thunder?
Do you think one cell of my body cares about Hulk Hogan's May 2000 battle royal on Thunder?
Well, Vinny, you better, because the more I think about it, the more I think when we're done with Retro Raw Nitro,
Okay.
it's got to be Thunder and SmackDown.
We'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
Burn it. We're going to cross it, Vinny. We're going to cross it like Bret Sargent Hart.
Is that his actual name?
That's his name, Bret Sargent Hart. How in the fuck?
Have we never known that?
Sargent. Someone must have fucked with his Wikipedia. Is that true? Well, I feel really stupid if it is.
You'd think I'd remember that.
Yeah, you telling me. Bret Sargent Hart, at Real Hitman. Look at that.
Wow.
That is crazy. Birth name, Bret Sargent Hart. That caught me so off guard when I opened up Wikipedia. It's like, did I get the wrong Bret Hart?
I don't blame you for this one. Wow. I also would have assumed it was Sabotage or...
His middle name was Sabotage?
Well, no, the fact that someone put his name on there was Sabotage.
That's no less preposterous than Sargent, I might add. That's what happened. Not as exciting as last week.
No, that's fair.
All right, let's do this Nitro report.
WCW Monday Nitro number 240, also April 24th of the year 2000. And a recap of last week's horrendous show. Out of order, by the way. They show Hogan throwing Kidman into the dumpster, then Hogan calling Bischoff. So we cut backstage. Now, I'm not sure what building this was, but they couldn't find a bigger spot for these two guys to fight.
It was the Blue Cross Arena in Rochester, New York.
Maybe not then.
Pretty sure they could have found a bigger place.
They're fighting essentially in a closet. There's nothing room to do anything. They're just random aluminum poles hanging around. Bam Bam Bigelow just hanging around.
Let's talk about the important thing. Sting beats him up, turns his back, and then Vamp hits him from behind with a pipe and lays him out.
Sting's dead.
What an idiot. That's the bigger issue.
Well,
what a moron.
There's quite a few issues with this. One is that Sting is a moron. Two is that it has now been established Vampiro hit Sting with a pipe and left him for dead.
Yes.
Okay? Everyone just write that one down.
I'd like to think that when Russo got fired, he grabbed a handful of those pipes and took them with him to WCW. Because it was always a thing. There's always a thing on WCW TV. There's pipes that God knows what they're used for, except for to make a loud noise and for people to crash into them.
I guess. I hadn't thought of the idea of Vince Russo pickpocketing them, but now I can.
Steal something on your way, all right?
Terry Funk versus Bam Bam Bigelow.
They announced it later. They're going to show us who Bret Hart hit.
Right.
Like, that was a fucking cliffhanger.
Yeah.
You're not even going to show us at the beginning of the show.
No.
What an important thing that must have been.
To stick around for that and get more ratings.
And by the way, they did show us, and there was zero follow-up.
Yes.
I have no idea what's going on.
No.
I have no idea why Bret Hart hit Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan.
It has nothing to do with anything else on the show.
Hulk never mentioned it.
No.
We didn't see Bret Hart a single fucking time. Mind-blowing. It's like Raw now.
So Funk and Bam Bam had a match that went exactly 2 minutes. In those 2 minutes, the Cat attacks Bam Bam Bigelow. We are told this has something to do with the U.S. title tournament.
They told us that Bigelow took Shat's spot in the U.S. title tournament at Spring Stampede. So it took a full week, but we finally figured out what happened with the U.S. title at the pay-per-view.
This was for the hardcore title.
This was for the hardcore title.
Yeah,
right?
but the problem was the U.S. title tournament. That's why Shat ran in. He's mad at Bigelow for taking a spot.
I see.
So the Cat attacks Bigelow. He leaves. He comes back with his magic red shoes. He does a cartwheel kick, kicks a chair into Bam Bam's face, and Funk wins in exactly 2 minutes.
What was impressive was Funk had a trash can on his head.
Yes, he did.
And he couldn't see, and he's getting hit in the head with the chair while the trash can's on his head.
Mm-hmm. Classic Terry Funk.
And we are told that the movie Beyond the Mat, which had come out the year earlier, revealed that Funk had suffered, quote, too many concussions.
That's what they said.
Okay.
Along with numerous other injuries during his career. Mm-hmm. So he's got this fucking can on his head, and he's spinning in a circle like Terry Funk. And let me repeat, he has a can on his head.
Sure.
Okay. Somehow Bam Bam Bigelow is on his back.
Yep.
And Funk knew exactly where to stand so that when he fell backwards, the can would land in Bigelow's crotch.
Right.
How the fuck did he do that?
We could see out of the bottom of the can and see where his feet are.
This was very impressive.
He's Terry Funk.
He is Terry
He's a
Funk.
very impressive man.
I bet he could wrestle. I bet he could wrestle blindfolded. So having a can on your head, about the same thing.
I would bet he has at some point.
I'm sure he has, actually.
Maybe a lot of beer involved. But so the announcers start by they're saying Bam Bam Bigelow is a henchman for the New Blood and they want Terry Funk's title. But then they switch gears and say the Cat was attacking Bam Bam on Russo's orders. So the announcers have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. I was beside myself by the end of this. Again, this all happened in 2 minutes. They do, in fact, show Bret Hart hitting Hulk Hogan right in the head with a steel chair when Nitro ended.
Yeah, the guy that retired due to concussions.
Recently.
Swings a chair as hard as he can right on Hogan's head.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening with this
Well, he
company?
can't hit him back.
Dude.
Billy Kidman. Remember when Mick Foley called Samoa Joe like the most believable badass in wrestling in TNA once?
Yes.
Okay. Billy Kidman's the least believable badass in wrestling.
This was bad.
He's trying to talk about being more of a man than Hogan could handle. Nick Hogan could handle Billy Kidman, I'm pretty sure. Now, I will say this. Hogan has been giving this man tanning tips. That's for sure. Bischoff, Page, and Jarrett arrive. They see Kidman in the ring.
We're not even going to recap this promo.
I did.
He said, I'm going to try to say this in the toughest tough guy way I can imagine. I can't even do it. He basically says, you tried to run me over with the Hummer because I, Billy Kidman, am more man than you could ever handle.
Right.
You damn near killed me, he said, but I'm here tonight. Hogan, you bring the yellow, I'll supply the red, your blood. And I'm going to finish it at Slamboree, brother. Wow. Wow. Wow.
So much better at that than Billy Kidman
And I was trying to not be tough.
No. You cannot be as uncharismatic as Kidman was
This
here.
was bad.
Bischoff, Page, and Jarrett arrive. They see Kim in the ring. They're as confused as I was.
Can we go over Russo and Norman?
It's coming.
That's next. Kim has papers in her hand. Then Russo meets with
Okay.
Norman. Russo says, I want a match with Terry Funk. Norman said that, right?
Yes.
Norman says, I want a match with Terry Funk. Russo says, I'll make you a deal. You find a partner and you'll face Terry Funk.
Because it's an even playing field. Because he's a heel.
What?
Well, he's a heel, Vinny. Now, I can't figure out if Norm is a heel.
I have no idea.
I thought Norman was a face, but now it seems like he's a heel because he accepted this offer.
So Jarrett, Kim, and Bischoff come out for a promo. Hollywood star David Arquette is at ringside.
Okay, this is a little thing, but I was so fucking mad. For some reason, I don't know why, they decided we're going to put a lapel mic
Yes.
on
Yeah.
Eric Bischoff.
That was weird.
So he's got a little thing right here, and meanwhile, like everybody else has a real mic. Jarrett's got a real mic in his hand.
Kimberly uses one, yes.
So Jarrett starts cutting his promo. He vows to beat, I wrote Jericho, I don't know whose ass he's facing at the pay-per-view, doesn't matter. He vowed to beat somebody's ass at the pay-per-view. So they go to Bischoff, and he's got a fucking goddamn
Lav mic.
Lapel mic.
lapel mic,
Yes.
okay? Which is an omnidirectional mic. All you need to know is, whenever Jarrett got close to this omnidirectional mic, you started to get fucking feedback.
Yes.
So Jarrett's trying to stay away from him, but you can't hear a fucking word
Yes.
that Eric is saying.
This is the problem.
So Eric is trying to do this promo. You can't hear him. Jarrett's trying to get close to the mic, but every time he gets close, there's feedback, so they have to turn the mic down.
Bischoff is pushing Jarrett away as Jarrett is
Yes,
trying to save the day
Jarrett's
with the
trying to
microphone.
push, so finally they give him the mic, but
This was-
he was so close that they had to mute the mics because they were going to have feedback. So then the mics they're dead. I'm like, you fucking morons. Just let him talk into a fucking normal microphone. Jesus Christ. You're not killing the business because someone's holding something up to their fucking face. He doesn't need a goddamn lapel mic. Fuck! Anything else?
This was such a WCW moment. No other company where this has ever happened in, and keep in mind they're owned by a multimedia conglomerate. So Jarrett's exact line, Brian, when he was talking about his match with Paige at the pay-per-view was, I'm going to beat your ass and neglect it, just like you did your lovely wife, Kimberly.
I hope my ass is neglected in all of my future matches.
Absolutely.
Everyone please neglect the ass. So we get the whole mic thing with Jarrett and Bischoff. Then Dallas Page comes out. Now let's recap. Dallas Page's wife turned on him, started hanging out with his boss. They are clearly fucking, and letting him know how much they enjoy it. At the same time, this other guy over here, Jarrett, has been hitting him with the guitars left and right and unfairly beat him for the world title. So they have screwed him professionally, they have screwed him personally. He comes out for a polite chat.
Not only that.
A verbal debate.
He comes out for a polite chat, and his wife has left him, and she is fucking Eric Bischoff.
Okay.
And she says, I want a divorce. And he says, well, hold on a second, baby.
Did you see the top she was wearing?
I want to hear more from DDP about why we need to make this work.
But she has to offer at this point.
But then he gets mad about it, and
he goes back and forth. He's
Yes.
passive aggressive. Let's save the marriage. I hate all of you. But I didn't hate you that much because you saw her talking. Yeah, Paige and Kim had a weird, complete lack of chemistry for a couple that was actually married in real life. Like, it wasn't like I believe they were having real life marriage problems. If I didn't know better, I would assume these two people had never actually met before. It was very strange. So, somewhere in here, Jarrett breaks the guitar over Paige again.
well, Paige says, I'll sign these papers when I shove them down Eric's throat. He goes after Eric, Jarrett hits a guitar shot. And for some reason, actor David Arquette is in the front row.
Yes.
Saving his friend Dallas.
And he sees Jarrett hit Dallas Page with a guitar, and he must act.
He has to save his friend Dallas.
And I don't mean act, I mean he must act.
He must take action.
He must take action. He leaps the barricade, he hits the ring,
He vaults into the ring.
he vaults into the ring, and he goes after Bischoff, who, by the way, didn't actually hit the man with the guitar.
No.
He was just there.
He was being manhandled at the time.
So he goes after him, and then Canyon runs down to make the save, and Bischoff freaks out, and he screams that he wants a match with Arquette. Bischoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants a match with Arquette.
He's outraged. This geek from Hollywood would embarrass him on his own show.
And Arquette's now a booker and an actor.
Sure.
He says, I will give you a match tonight, but if I win, DDP gets a shot at Jarrett in the cage tonight. Wasn't it Jarrett versus DDP, like, at the pay-per-view?
Yes.
It's imperative that we do it a week early?
I guess so. It's,
Okay.
Dude, it's WCW.
And conveniently, there was a cage set up overhead in the rafters.
Fine foresight and planning by Arquette and Page. Listen, all I know is that I know two things. One, when Arquette tackled Bischoff and started laying in punches, one of the announcers says he has the rear mount on Eric Bischoff. He used the actual correct terminology.
Yes.
Two, David Arquette and Eric Bischoff were awesome.
Well,
These promos were great. One's an actual actor.
they were great promos. Later, they had to have a wrestling match.
It's true.
That was a little different.
We'll get to that. But I enjoyed this segment.
It was a very good segment.
By the end. Not so much until, actually, if I'm being perfectly honest, David Arquette saved the day.
The problem was never David Arquette getting involved in wrestling.
No.
The problem was David Arquette becoming the champion of the world.
That is a problem.
Yes.
Chronic still wants their title shot from Russo. They're trying to manhandle and bully him. Two of them.
Yes.
He completely no-sells their intimidation. Tells them to take a seat and listen.
Yeah. That's what happened.
Jarrett is pissed at Bischoff backstage. Bischoff tells him to chill and to go get Kidman. First of all, okay, two things. We're only 20 minutes into the show.
No.
I feel like we've been talking for 4 hours already. Now, I wrote this down that we were at the 20-minute mark because 20 minutes ago, Sting was hit in the head with a heavy metal pipe
From behind.
and left unconscious and helpless on the floor. Mm-hmm. He's fine now.
Oh, yeah.
He looked so fine here that I would have assumed they taped this before the fight taping.
I will explain more later.
Okay. He's totally fine. He's looking for Vampiro, I guess so he can get hit with a pipe again. Chris Candido and Tammy Sitch versus Prince Iaukea and Paisley. So, as they're coming out, the announcers are sure to promise, listen fans, we want you at home to know that we will abandon this match and cut backstage to show Sting and Vampiro if they fight.
Oh, very important match we're watching right here. I better not switch to Raw.
Why Why would you tell the viewers that what's going on doesn't matter and is a waste of time? So, Tammy cuts a promo. She says Paisley has a thing or two to learn from her. Brian, is that true?
All I know is Candido accidentally hit Paisley, that son of a bitch.
He did. So, the question for this match was, can Chris Candido work for 4 people? The answer is hell no.
Fuck no. Are you out of your mind?
I tried.
They had an awful match. Awful cat fight.
Awful comedy.
Sonny fell off the post on the 2 guys.
Sonny,
thankfully, was not hurt.
They went to Tammy, said she was not a wrestler, and said we need you to die off the post.
Yes.
And she knew she was running out of chances in this business, and she had to do it. She looked utterly terrified. Thank God Candido and Prince were both there to catch her. We got a long thong shot on Cammy. And then Tammy.
All right. All we need to know, everybody, is we saw a lot of Sonny during this match, and it was very bad.
It was.
Let's move on.
I do also point out that when Tammy finally pinned Paisley, Tammy pinned her exactly the way Survivor Jenna did in the horrible match with Sharmell many years later. Apparently, this is Sharmell's idea for a spot.
They were watching their tapes.
They were. They watched this. Sting's backstage looking for Vampiro still.
So, Sting comes down to the ring, and Tammy and Candido are still there.
Yeah. Right.
Now, for those of you that, well, I mean, I told everyone to just move on, but they won.
Yeah.
Candido and Tammy won.
Right.
Sting comes down to the ring, he beats the shit out of Candido and makes him look like an absolute geek. This is the second week in a row that they've booked a segment where somebody wins a match, and then someone else comes down and beats them up like a geek.
Mm-hmm.
So, Candido's buried, Sonny's buried, Artist buried, Paisley buried.
Yes.
So Sting buries everybody.
To be fair, they were all dead when the announcer said this match
true.
doesn't matter.
So Sting then cuts a promo, and he says, I want Vamp back out here because it's Monday Nitro, and because it's Vampiro, let's make it a first blood match. Storms to the back. Sting does not give 2 shits about any of this. It is abundantly clear he does not give a fuck. He has been told what to do. He signed a contract. They're paying him a lot of money, so he's going to go out there, he's going to say the words they want him to say, he's going to do the stuff they want him to do, and he's going to go home to his kids. He doesn't give a shit about any of this. It was abundantly clear watching this.
So Sting challenged Vampiro to a first blood match. Got it. Paige and Canyon give Arquette a pep talk backstage.
He can't find his pants. Apparently he brought extra pants to the building.
You never know. Always bring your gear.
Always bring your gear, even when you're a fan.
Even if you're not actually a wrestler.
Even when you're a fan, bring extra pants when you go to a show.
I've been to some shows, actually. It's not a bad plan.
Hey, I was wrestling Orange Cassidy, and he did the Buddy Wayne.
Had one pair of jeans to
He
wrestle in.
opened up his gear backpack, and inside was another pair of pants.
That's right.
He put them on. He did a match. He did not even sweat.
That would be actually impressive if he had sweat in that
Went
match.
backstage, took his pants off, and put the other pants back on. You must have a second pair of pants everywhere you go. That's why I put in Paisley's backpack. Second pair of pants.
Let's talk more about this. I don't want to talk about the next segment. It's very bad.
I'll talk about a second pair of pants. Fucking Flair's wrestling in street clothes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Did he have a second pair of pants?
Apparently not.
Sure he did. He probably wore a suit to the building.
So it's Team Package versus Chronic with Miss Hancock watching. Flair is in his fucking street clothes. Luger has cut his hair.
Yeah.
He now looks like the narcissist again. Bagwell comes down with a bat. They don't even ring... Actually, they
did ring a bell.
They rang the bell when he came down because they started the match during interference.
I mean, they
That's what happened, Vinny. They started the match during interference.
No, you're right. You're right.
So they hit the high times on Ric Flair. They pin him. And there you go. Shane and Bagwell jump in. They help kill Flair. They have no friends. And Chronic turns on Bagwell and Douglas.
Okay. They started the match before Buff came out because I did rewind and the bell rang 3 times here.
3 times?
It rang to start the match. 40 seconds later, it rang when Bagwell interfered. And then I assume another match started because 40 seconds after that, Shane Douglas hit Flair with a bat and Chronic pinned him.
Maybe somebody fell on the bell.
Over and over, ding,
For the
ding, ding, ding,
second
ding.
time. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's a woodpecker in the
I am under the assumption this was actually 2 matches in 80 seconds. So eventually Chronic beat up Douglas and Buff and sent them packing. Yes, they beat up the guys who helped them win. Vampiro's backstage in a shirt that reads Pain in giant letters with a Pepsi logo on it. Odd.
I saw that as well.
Yeah. And he says, Sting, like the spider said to the fly, come into my web. Bischoff tells Kidman to listen to him.
Says, don't make your own match with Hogan. I'll make the match. Kidman rolls his eyes.
Gene interviews Bischoff, Kimberly, Kidman, Tori, and Mike Awesome.
Yeah.
Quite the entourage.
What a crew.
So Bischoff books Kidman and Awesome versus Hogan and a partner of his choosing, and makes himself special referee for the Kidman-Hogan match at Slamboree.
All right, allow me to take over for a while. The next match is Hogan and a partner, if he can find one, against Awesome and Kidman. Eric Bischoff, the heel, says Hogan has burned so many bridges, nobody is going to want to be his partner. Apparently, the heel Eric Bischoff is telling the truth. Hogan comes out, nobody comes out to help him over the course of this entire fucking match. Are you kidding me? You can't cut a promo like that on a guy unless there is someone coming out to help him. So, Hogan gets in there, and he beats the shit out of Awesome and Kidman all by himself. So the match starts, and he's beating both these guys. And I thought, all right, we're going to go a minute, and like Hogan's partner's going to come down, or it's just going to be like some bullshit finish, and we just move on to the next segment. No. Hogan is beating on Awesome. And he's beating on Kidman. He takes off his weight belt. He's whipping Mike Awesome. Mike Awesome, by the way, hardcore Mike Awesome. Every time Hogan swings the belt, he bumps early. Doesn't want to get hit with his leather strap.
Don't blame him.
Hogan destroys them. He beats the shit out of him. Finally, Awesome cuts him off, but then Hogan hits a low blow and goes back to work. He beats the shit out of Kidman. He beats the shit out of Awesome. Finally, they double team him for like 30 seconds. Hogan makes a comeback, and he runs wild again. At this point, I'm going, how the fuck long is this match? It's still going. Hogan hits the big boot. I'm like, okay, here comes the leg drop. Nope. He lifts up Mike Awesome. He slams him. He starts dropping a bunch of elbows. I'm like, has it been 15 fucking minutes? Now they're brawling outside. Kidman waffles Hogan with a chair shot right to the head. Hogan goes down. He gigs. Heels get a table. They powerbomb Hogan through the table. Nash appears backstage. Nash looks on the monitor. Fuck, Hogan's getting beaten up by two guys. You know, I guess I better head out there. It's like he's Orange Cassidy. Guess I should probably get out there sometime this week. He starts walking. Takes him about an hour to get there, by the way, because the match just fucking goes on for 10 more fucking minutes. So, they put Hogan on a table. Kidman goes up top. Kidman is a big splash through Hogan and the table. He rips his shirt off. He hits the leg drop. And finally, Kidman in a 2-on-1 match pins Hulk Hogan. Tori drops down, gives a bloody Hulk Hogan a kiss for good measure. And then, of course, Nash finally comes out and he destroys both of the heels.
They destroyed
Now,
him, but
whatever. So, I do mean whatever. Okay? Let's talk about the issue here. I understand that one of the problems with World Championship Wrestling was that nobody got elevated. It was the same guys on top for too long, and there needed to be a change. Okay? Russo's idea was just, well, let's just have everybody randomly beat all the old guys.
yeah.
We'll have fucking Bryan Adams and Brian Clark pin Ric Flair with the high times. What? And now Kidman is out there. God bless Kidman. He's beaten Hulk Hogan 2 times now. What in the fuck is going on? How did anybody think that this was a good idea? It didn't help Chronic one bit to beat Ric Flair and Lex Luger. Because it was a nothing match on a nothing TV show. Nothing. It was nothing. And Kidman's out here. He can't cut a promo. Listen, I'm a small guy. I'm laughing at Kidman. This fucking guy's beating up Hulk Hogan. It's fucking preposterous. Like, maybe if he had the intensity of a Chris Benoit, I could say, you know what? That fucking guy's a tough fucker. And he's young, and he's tough, and he's beating up this old guy. I didn't think that for 1 second in this. It was a big, giant guy letting a little guy do moves on him. And at the end of the day, it didn't get Kidman over.
No.
It hurt Hulk Hogan. Like, the whole point is, you gotta find one guy. You got to build him up over a period of time, and you have to have a big climactic match with that guy, Goldberg, for example, against Hulk Hogan. Oh, they did that at the fucking Georgia Dome, and it was a goddamn gigantic fucking thing. It wasn't just some random geek on the show pinning Hulk Hogan every week on fucking television. Like, how stupid do you have to be to do this shit? This was so stupid.
Without disagreeing with any of your big picture points, I enjoyed this segment a lot more than you did.
That's part of the point. Like, I was impressed with how fucking Hulk Hogan, he looked good in this match.
Well, I think that's largely because he's working with Mike Awesome.
And then he had to lay down for Kidman in the end.
So, I enjoyed the match way more than anything.
What is going on, Rob? Must you excuse yourself? Yes? What's happening over there?
I cannot begin to tell you. I am having my innards are apparently going haywire.
Do not have any problems in this room after what happened with Filthy.
I cannot make any promises. Although I did clean up Filthy, so I can clean this up.
Okay, if you need to leave the room, put it on the try screen or whatever, and then go.
It's not that bad.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
You should.
So
well.
So Mike Awesome and Hulk Hogan is a million times better than anything Billy Kidman has done with Hulk Hogan. They're feuding the wrong guy with Hogan here. And now to emphasize your point, Brian, after this match, which I did have fun with, when Billy Kidman has a splash to the table and drops the big leg, and they count 3, this crowd was into this. This crowd liked Hulk Hogan. They wanted to see Hulk Hogan beat 2 men. And when William Kidman pinned him, this is what they always talk about when they say when Ivan Koloff pinned Bruno. The place goes silent.
Yeah, because it's totally different, though. It was because Kidman pinned Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
They were like, what?
The air gets sucked out of the building. It just goes complete stone dead. Shocking.
Because Hulk Hogan is the hero.
Yes.
And it turned out that the Joker was right. He has no fucking friends.
That is true.
And he goes out there by himself, and he fails.
He sure did.
This was a failure. Like, hey, I don't want to waste time on the show, but let's just think about this. They signed away the ECW heavyweight champion Mike Awesome. Bring this fucking guy in. Have him run roughshod over everybody. Kick everybody's ass from now until summer. They don't have a SummerSlam, but whatever the fucking show you want to do in the summer. Bash at the Beach, whatever. And then finally you build up to that big Mike Awesome Hulk Hogan match, and Hulk Hogan does the job for Mike Awesome. That's what you do when you want to build a new star. Not randomly have a mid-carder pin Hulk Hogan in a fucking TV match. That's stupid.
Hogan came out and he's wearing black pants, black vest, and on the back it said FUNB.
We didn't even talk about that, but yes.
And I was like, what in the world? Fun B? What? FU New Blood.
Yeah, I think Fun B.
Because Hogan's walking down the aisle, and he turns around, he points, and he goes, NB stands for New Blood. You figure out what FU stands for. And he goes to the ring.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Also, when Mike Awesome powerbombed him through the table, I've never seen a cleaner break on a table. Ever. It was totally pre-cut.
Well, the guy's 300 pounds.
Yeah.
I would hope it wasn't pre-cut.
Those things was totally pre-cut.
Those go too easy. You don't want to go through a pre-cut table.
You cannot
cut a table.
You cannot cut a table all the way.
Oh, yeah, anyway, forget it. Go on.
Bischoff, Kim, and Jarrett go for a walk. Paige, Kanyon, and Arquette go for a walk. Then we get David Arquette versus Eric Bischoff.
Eric did like 3 kicks and was gassed.
Yeah.
My first impression of this was, I thought about when Nitro first started 5 years ago now. Man, it was a hard 5 years for Eric Bischoff.
Let me explain to everybody, Craig. The point I'm making about a pre-cut table is, the point of a table is to break your fall.
Understood.
So I don't want it pre-cut.
Okay.
If he wants to go through the table, it should not be pre-cut. Otherwise, it's like a knife through hot butter.
It doesn't break, you hit harder.
Yeah, you just whoosh right to the mat.
I'm telling you, this is a pre-cut table.
So Arquette does a spear.
That's what Bischoff was doing. It's gassed.
David Arquette does the worm.
Yeah. David Arquette does the worm.
Everything.
Which gets the biggest pop on the entire show. He does exactly like Scotty 2 Hotty. Just to let you all know that the wrestling he really likes is on the other channel.
That's true. That's true. Jarrett lays out Paige with the belt. So Arquette, he has Bischoff down. He's looking right at Jarrett as Jarrett climbs in the ring with a guitar, and then Arquette turns his back to Jarrett to get laid out.
Trying to run.
I guess. So Bischoff's holding Arquette. Jarrett swings the guitar. Arquette dodges. Bischoff gets hit with the guitar. Kanyon wipes out Jarrett. Arquette gets the win. The crowd goes wild. Now I realize I just saw Dawn Valentine on WCW Saturday Night, but we've been watching that show for a long time. And listen, I have seen dozens, perhaps hundreds of pro wrestlers in my life worse than David Arquette.
Yeah.
Now, no champions. No world champions at this point.
No, there is nothing, zero, zilch wrong with an actor getting involved and beating an authority figure.
Yes.
Because someone else hit him with a guitar.
Yes.
To set up somebody else getting a championship match.
Yes.
This was all great.
Yes.
There was no problem with any of this.
After the break, Major Guns is interviewing Arquette in the locker room. Arquette managed to look at Major Guns in her bikini, and he has champagne in his hand, and he, perfect timing, manages to simulate ejaculation with a champagne bottle as she's looking at Major Guns. He is a pro, and he and Kanyon and Major Guns are all very happy.
She was interviewing in a bikini.
She's Major Guns.
What are you expecting?
She has nothing else to offer, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Jarrett is mad at Bischoff. Now he has to defend his
That's her
title.
name,
Right.
Major Guns.
Understood.
Scott Steiner comes out for a promo.
Oh, my God. Was this for real?
Yeah.
Calls out Booker T's jive ass.
That's what he said.
Then he starts, and then Booker comes out and he tells the women not to put their hands on him because once you go black, you never go back. Medeja slaps him, and then Booker starts beating on him and calling him boy. That's literally what happened in this segment.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. The only thing I can add is that before all that happened, Booker says, yes, they told me to attack you last week. It was business, not personal. Which is something a heel would say. So Steiner and Booker are fighting, and they go to the break. Arquette and Kanyon are prepping with Paige backstage. Russo tells Buff and Kanyon to go fight Chronic. So we get Chronic versus Buff Bagwell and Shane Douglas.
Yes, he tells them to go fight Chronic. They don't want to.
Yeah.
And so tough guy Russo says, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They go to put their clothes
They
on.
were gonna leave. They were gonna go to the bar and have a drink.
Yeah. So after this show, 2 hours of this show, Brian Clark, Brian Adams, Buff Bagwell, and Shane Douglas go out and have a wrestling match before these fans on this show.
Call it what you want, Benny.
It fails. It does not get over. People are chanting boring at it.
Russo's on commentary. He's saying, WCW, we can win.
Yeah, now he's the in the metaphorical sense, the company's champion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got Ric Flair's Rolex around his neck. What? What the fuck is that all about?
I don't know.
He stole it from him 2 weeks ago.
He did?
Yes, he did.
I don't remember any of this.
So
They beat up Flair. He stole the Rolex.
So Buff throws the ref out of the ring. Scott Hudson roars.
Yes.
That's bullshit, Mark.
Yes.
To Mark Madden,
Russo wanted more swearing.
I guess.
Russo's second run is Exhibit A. The WWE going PG-13 ain't going to do a shit's worth of good. None.
So Chronic hits the high times on Douglas, I guess. But then Vince Russo hits the ring. Now, I know this is a rubber bat. I know it was not an actual Louisville Slugger.
Sure.
Mike Trout has never hit anything as hard with a baseball bat as Vince Russo is hitting people with his prop. He's just waylaying guys left and right as hard as he possibly can. Bryan Adams goes down. Nick Patrick at one point gets a waffle and goes down. My God in heaven.
You know, Russo's supposed to be a tough guy. He doesn't look like a star.
You
He's
don't
out there.
say.
He's out there in his jeans. He's got a T-shirt on with a basketball jersey over the top of it.
The unathletic goof with the bad posture who has to hit guys as hard as he possibly can. The weapon is not a tough guy.
No.
You don't say. And not a star. No, excuse me, not a star.
Not a star
Not a
either.
star at all. No, Craig, he's not a star. He's the anti-star. Anyway, Buff and Shane win. Tank Abbott comes out for a promo. His big line is that Bill Goldberg's so hard to find, I ought to call him Bill Ghostberg.
Dude, he's out there talking about how he's a real warrior. and he's nervously stumbling through this promo. It's like, God, can you just not have this fucking guy talk? Give him a goddamn manager to talk for him, for crying out loud. Then he beats up the WCW.com crew.
Yeah.
Bob Ryder, Borash, and Bill Banks are all killed.
He killed Borash.
Borash jumps on his back, and everyone's all excited. And at this point, I thought, have I been saying his name wrong for 20 years?
Right.
Because they're saying, look, it's Borash.
Yeah, Borash.
Borash
Is here.
Thank God.
Brash Jeremy Borash. It's his wrestling name.
I suppose so. He was not very brash.
No.
He was beaten.
I guess I was in of WCW.com. I didn't go back and look, but it sounds like the website went down after that.
One would think. Jarrett versus Paige in a cage match.
I looked at the clock.
Yes!
I looked at the clock. There was 16 minutes left in the show, and then I was alerted, we still got the Sting and Vampiro First Blood match after this. I'm
That's
like,
right.
Holy crap.
Got to cram a lot in these last 50 minutes, whatever it was. So the cage match begins with a long series of crowd brawling. Eventually they get in the ring and wrestle. Paige hits a cutter. Mike Awesome calmly takes the... This is not Kane getting into Hell in a Cell. Mike Awesome just opens the door. It just comes off.
He was trying to pull it off the hinges, but he couldn't get the bottom one, so he kicks it and it falls in.
So Mike Awesome interferes in the cage match. Now here's what happened. Paige hits a cutter and makes a cover. The ref counts 1. The ref counts 2. Awesome grabs the ref's hand and holds it up.
Yes.
And then Canyon hits Awesome. Awesome lets go, and the ref counts 3. That was their planned finish.
That's not even exactly what happened, Vinny.
That's pretty close.
He counts 2, and Awesome stops him, but then actually lets go of his hand, because the referee's going like this with 2 hands, and then finally the cutter gets hit, and so the ref just hits 1 time and says, ring the bell!
That's what happened.
What he just said.
Okay, so here's a question. Why couldn't DDP just give him a cutter and pin him?
Brian, no one wants to see wrestling.
Because none of these run-ins had anything to do with fucking anything.
No.
Awesome didn't stop the match.
No!
He was not actually involved in the finish. It didn't lead to anything. He literally got in for the sake of getting in there.
Yes.
And then they just finished the count.
Jarrett looked worse because of this interference. He was pinned for like a 10 count.
Was there something in Russo's contract where he would be fined for a clean finish? Is that what I'm missing here? I mean, there was zero reason to have a run in here.
Yeah.
None. It had nothing to do with anything. They did it just because they did not want to have a clean finish in the main event for the title change.
So yeah, Paige is champ now.
Yeah, you say it like that, but that's what they did. He won the title.
That's my point.
He hit the crowd, and they cut away to commercial, and that was it. It was time for the main event.
Main event of Vampiro versus Sting in a first blood match. Sting throws Vampiro out of the ring 2 or 3 times, and Vampiro stands at the announce desk and makes a mean face, and a lot of fake blood falls out of the sky and drenches Sting. Gallons and gallons and gallons of fake blood. So apparently, when Sting issued this open challenge 2 hours ago, not even an hour ago, Vampiro went to the fake blood store and drug hundreds of pounds of fake blood up to the rafters and suspended above the ring to set this trap. So the new blood runs out. There's Buff and probably Awesome and Douglas. I don't know. Point is, they all beat up Sting. He's covered in fake blood. And the closing image of the show, they take Sting back into the aisle. They hook him back into his harness. They elevate him hanging limp and bloody above the ring. And then remind us, on Sunday, Kemper Arena.
Yes.
You fuckwits.
Do you even remember what happens on that show?
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't Canyon go flying off the cage?
Canyon gets thrown off the cage, this enormous bump off the top of the cage, all the way down to the ramp. They sell like he's dead.
Yeah.
In Kemper fucking Arena. This was a cool visual. I was, when I saw the wrestlers hook this fucking guy up to the carabiner, I was fixing to, just quit my job.
Yeah, especially the day after Easter.
But they only lifted him up about
10 feet.
10 feet, maybe. I thought they were going to pull him all the way back up to the ceiling after Buff Bagwell clasped him in there.
Yes.
Thankfully, they did not do that. Yeah, that's it. The bloodbath is now... We're going to see this bloodbath in 50 shows. They found something cool. Drop shit from the ceiling.
Well, they already did it on WWF, so why not?
Hey, there you go. The best part, there's one thing I got to mention. Involves Bagwell.
Yes.
So all this shit comes down from the ceiling and covers Sting, and he has felt like he's practically dead. Okay.
Which actually, if you watch it hit him,
Yeah.
It hit him
knocked him
hard.
over.
it may not have been selling.
So all the heels come into the ring, and they're trying to drag him out of the ring so they can strap him to the thing. Okay. Sting sees this pretty boy Buff.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm taking this motherfucker down.
In his street clothes.
Yep. And he goes after Buff, and Buff is fighting. And Sting does like a legit ankle pick. And he squeezes both of his ankles together, and he finally takes him down in all this blood. And Bagwell's covered in blood.
pretty
You
blue
gotta
shirts.
watch Bagwell's face when he gets up. He's so fucking irritated.
Not happy.
They got taken down in this blood. I howled! That was the best thing on the show. Let's do this finishes report.
Oh, right.
This should be
I
good.
actually closed my damn nose like an idiot.
Oops.
We'll open him back up.
I'll open him back up. Why did I do that? The finishes on this show were pin after botched interference in a hardcore match, clean pin in an intergender tag match, DQ due to run-in in 40 seconds, pin after interference in 40 seconds, pin in what was apparently a no DQ handicap match, pin countered by crooked official after multiple belt shots, and pin despite interference in a cage match.
Beginning to do it justice.
WCW Monday Nitro 241, May 1st of the year 2000.
In the running for the worst Nitros I've ever seen.
I'm so happy because I was watching this thinking the same thing, and I thought maybe I'm just having a bad day, or
I was having a bad day because I watched it.
Okay, so we're in agreement. This was a terrible, terrible
Yes.
show. Okay, good.
Fucking wretched.
So yes, David Arquette is now the world champion, which we'll get into shortly here. But we open with a clip of David visiting his wife, Courtney Cox, on the set of her new movie, 3,000 Miles to Graceland. They plugged about 18 times.
Okay.
So he's got this wacky suit on, he's got his championship belt on, and he's celebrating, and she's pleading with him, "You are not a wrestler, you're going to die, please stop doing this."
Much like his family does now.
Actually, yeah. So we get clips from Thunder, which were bewildering. But
Thunder.
Thunder.
Not a pay-per-view.
No.
Thursday Night Thunder, or Wednesday, or whatever it was.
Bewildering clip here, but I shall do my best to make sense of it all. Jarrett books a tag match. Vampiro and Mike Awesome attack Sting. Vince Russo declares that Liz does not have a contract with Lex Luger. She has a contract with WCW. Even though I recall a specific angle where Lex went to Vince in his office and said, "I will hire her. She won't work with you. She'll work with me."
Yes, she was property of Lex Luger.
Yes. And then they do a tag match where it's Paige and Arquette versus Jarrett and Bischoff, where Paige, the reigning world heavyweight champion, can lose the title if anybody else in the match pins anyone else in the match. So when David Arquette pins Eric Bischoff, that means Arquette wins the world title, Paige loses the world title, but Paige still celebrates with David Arquette.
Belt stayed in the family, baby.
I guess so.
It's a Shane McMahon theory.
I
Doesn't matter who wins it as long as it's in the family.
I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yes, now you have. But yes, that's really stupid.
That's fucking... It's honestly stupider that Paige was happy about it than it happened. So Paige and his crew and Jarrett and his crew, their limos almost collide in the parking lot. They jump out and yell at each other. Hulk Hogan zooms in his car, smashes it into one of the other cars, and a giant brawl breaks out.
There was so much going on here, I couldn't even start to recap it. Like 5 things happened in 10 seconds.
We begin with the bullshit. Crowbar versus Norman Smiley.
Actually, before that, Tony is pushing hard that David Arquette is the champion. And Mark Madden says, former greats are rolling over in their graves.
Yes.
Including, he says, Bruno Sammartino, who was
wait a
definitely not dead.
Well,
Got a ton of heat for that, if I recall correctly.
there is that. And this man from Pittsburgh, too?
Yes.
Shouldn't he know? Regardless, so the gimmick is Norman Smiley and a mystery partner are facing Terry Funk at the pay-per-view. So Norman comes out with his mystery partner.
Do you know who this is?
No, and I don't care.
But you should care.
All right.
It's fucking Ralphus.
Oh, dandy.
They've decided that he is literally going to come back and be Norman's partner. He can't work.
No.
He's not a wrestler.
No.
They have this big fat guy in this mascot head.
He comes out in the mascot suit of the local hockey team, I think. And the first thing he does is get the mascot head stuck in the ropes.
Okay, listen. It's a funny visual for, like, 2 seconds in a man's lifetime.
Sure.
This guy's wearing a mascot head. It gets stuck between the top and the middle rope. He's stuck, okay? I don't watch sports.
What?
But even I know. The mascot head just goes on and off.
Sure.
This is not really a giant dog, whatever the hell this thing was.
This asshole has to pretend like he can't get his head out from between the top and middle rope.
Yes.
Okay. He can't pull his own head out of the mascot head.
Right.
Okay.
He can't pull his head out.
You're right. That's really stupid, and it insults my intelligence as a viewer to believe this man can't move and can't free himself for upwards of 5 minutes that he's stuck in the ropes.
Yep.
I agree.
There forever.
Yeah. Now, when he finally frees himself...
I'm not even ready to get there yet.
Okay, I'll wait till you get there.
He has his fucking head stuck between the top and the middle rope. And they start doing a goddamn hardcore match.
Yeah.
And they're wrestling, and this fucking guy's got his head caught between the top and the middle rope. Mm-hmm. He can't get his head out of the mascot head.
Right.
Nor can he get the mascot head out from between the ropes. And they wrestle. And they wrestle. And no one's paying any attention to it because there's a fucking guy, a fat guy, with his head stuck between the top and the middle rope. Mm-hmm. They build to the big spot. A triple big wiggle.
Yeah.
So what I was watching on my television was there's a fat guy with a mascot head stuck between the top and the middle rope. There's another guy behind him.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe this without being lewd.
Pelvis to pelvis.
It's not pelvis to pelvis. It's pelvis to ass.
Yes.
And then there's a guy behind him.
Which is where?
Madly humping the first guy, causing him to madly hump the guy wearing a mascot head stuck between the top and the middle rope.
We got a daisy chain with a furry here in the opening segment.
Thank you.
Somehow, this resulted in his head being dislodged.
I see.
Which maybe that is realistic.
Well, Brian.
So finally he gets his fucking head out.
Yeah.
He stands there.
Ah!
He just stands
He can
there.
barely do that. Now that I know it's Ralph, this all makes more sense at least. So then Crowbar decides, this is the tag team partner of the man I'm fighting. I must also attack him as well. Mm-hmm. What ensues is, no joke, the worst 30 seconds of action I've seen on Nitro all year.
Vinny just put up air quotes. But
I did for there's cameras here.
I know, but
So-
everybody has cameras.
They should.
He throws a kick at the gut. First of all, it's a big giant gut anyway. And,
Okay.
Fat is padding. You can kick a guy in the gut. It won't hurt him. Don't punt him, but you can make contact. He won't die. Then he's got a mascot suit on top of that. Mm-hmm. So Crowbar throws this kick. It comes out like 3 inches short. The mascot doesn't move. Crowbar throws like a t-shirt or something. He tries to blind the big giant fake mascot head eyes on top, which aren't what the guy's actual eyes are because he's a human being and a head. He takes a kendo stick, hits the mascot head and the head with it, but the mascot head's a big fucking padded helmet thing, so it doesn't sell. I'm alone in my living room watching this. I scream, what am I watching? What's going on? Why did they leave his head in the ropes? I was so much happier when his head was stuck in the ropes.
Can we talk about the finish?
If you want to. I will read what I wrote down because I was so sickened that I couldn't even bear to describe. I remember what happened. What I wrote was, Norman trips over his own partner and wins anyway. I'm done.
The mascot falls down. Norman trips over the mascot, and somehow in tripping, he turns it into a cradle on Crowbar for the pin.
Yeah.
I wrote, Vinny, fuck, like 2000. This was one of the worst matches I have ever seen in my life.
It was horrible.
And the crowd, they were so hot when the show started, and they were so dead at the end of this match. This fucking killed them. Horrible.
And it was not short. We mentioned this was like at least 7 minutes.
I don't know about that, but fuck.
Oh, it was.
We are then told that Wednesday night when David Arquette won the World Championship, it was a great moment in sports entertainment. David Arquette arrives with Paige and Canyon. He says he does not deserve to be world champion. Paige promises they will take care of it. Bischoff and Jarrett and that crew arrive. Kimberly flashes her shirt which just says me in giant letters. Flair and Lex have a pep talk. We're back on the movie set where Courtney again tells David...
This was awesome.
David, this is dangerous.
This was almost as good as the sports guys on the last show. They're back there, and Arquette's explaining to Courtney Cox, this was apparently taped earlier, that he's got guys who are going to watch his back. And who should fucking walk up but Kurt Russell?
Yeah.
And Kurt Russell walks up and he just goes, Courtney, we gotta go. We gotta go to the love scene again.
It's time for our nude love scene.
Mm-hmm. Arquette just stands there like an idiot. And as they're about to leave, I don't know if it was Courtney or David, but somebody explained to Kurt Russell that David Arquette was the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. And Kurt Russell looks at him, and he fucking breaks in hysterics, and he leaves with Courtney Cox to do a nude love scene. Kurt Russell was the star of the show.
Yeah.
He was fucking phenomenal. He was so good here. I loved it. Every second of this.
Sean Stasiak is in a basketball gym with some god-awful audio. He says he is the perfect one. He is going to break the world record for most consecutive free throws without a miss. He cuts this promo, and he hits this shot, and I thought to myself, thank God. More to come. So Arquette, Page, and Kenyon come out. And Arquette says, last week has been incredible. Thank you, fans, for all your support. But I am an entertainer, not a sports entertainer. So I am going to relinquish this title. And as he's listing all the other talent, maybe Dallas Page deserves it. Maybe Kane deserves it. Maybe Booker T deserves it.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing. He says he will put the title up between the Jeff Jarrett, Dallas Page, Triple Cage match at Slamboree. The winner of that will be the new champion. They all start to leave, but then Jarrett and crew interrupt. Bischoff says, you're not going to get off that easy, Mr. Arquette. You were right. You made a mistake getting involved in this. I am making that cage match a three-way. You will defend the title now against Dallas Page and Jeff Jarrett in the Triple Cage match. Now, I need to explain. After announcing that he owned Liz contractually on Thunder, apparently Vince Russo kidnapped her and put her on, as they called it, a leash.
Yeah, she's handcuffed to him.
She's handcuffed. It is to a leash. He's got a leash in his hand.
Yes.
And it's on her wrist, and she can't go anywhere without him. So, in the middle of this, Lex Luger comes charging down to ringside to rescue Liz. I guess Russo let go, or he left, I'm not sure which, but Liz and the security guys watching her all flee through the crowd. Security flees with them. Lex has to pretend he can't catch them even though he's already there. They all go through the crowd. Now, let's think about this. A woman has been kidnapped.
This is all, by the way, in the middle of the segment we're discussing.
Yeah,
Yes.
This is not a second segment.
No.
They're in the ring talking about DDP and Jarrett and Arquette when all of a sudden Luger runs down and leaps into the ring to then get out of the ring to go after Vince Russo.
Yes.
Right.
So, a woman has been kidnapped. She's been brought forth before the world as a kidnapping victim. Her boyfriend has come to rescue her. The kidnappers have fled through the crowd. The boyfriend has given chase. So anyway, and they continue with their promo like nothing happened. I was so pissed. I was so pissed off at this. For tonight, Eric Bischoff books David Arquette against Tank Abbott. Page says that match won't happen, and he and Tank are going back and forth here. A brawl breaks out. Eventually, Tank challenges Page and says, if you win, fine, no match for Arquette, but if I beat you, I get a match with David Arquette.
You know what? It's going to be an unpopular take, but aside from the Luger stuff, which was an angle in the middle of an angle, which pissed me off, I actually like this segment because David Arquette and DDP have screwed the heels. And David Arquette won the WCW World Heavyweight Championship from Jeff Jarrett, and the heels are outraged. So Arquette just wants to get rid of this fucking belt because he's not a wrestler.
No.
And he doesn't deserve it. He admittedly says, I don't deserve it. I just want to get rid of this thing and go back and make my movie. The heels are like, no, fuck you. You're in this fucking match now. Because they want to get their hands on the guy. And then they sign him to a match with Tank Abbott, the shooter, because he's going to kill David Arquette. And then, when DDP steps up, they announce these stipulations where Tank says, I'll face you, Page, and if you beat me, this guy's free. If I beat you, he'll die tonight, was basically what he said.
He actually did say that, yeah.
Yeah. So this all made sense, and I liked it.
If you take out the Luger, Liz, Russo stuff.
That was very dumb.
Incredibly
The rest
dumb.
of it, I liked it. It made sense.
So last time we saw Lex, as I was just talking about, he was within arm's reach of Liz and the security guys and had to pretend he couldn't grab them. After the break, Lex is backstage looking for them. How did they lose him? Where did they go? What's happening? Back at the gym, Stasiak is shooting baskets, talking about his abs, and he shoots a basket and it goes in, talks about his abs. He shoots a basket, he gets a shooter's roll, man. It hits rim, it hits glass, it's going back and forth, and it just barely teeters in. And of course, he's like, I knew it all the time. And he goes to shoot a third one, and the cameraman zooms in really tight on Sean.
Just in case.
Just in case.
He's got to shoot 6,000 baskets.
Whatever it was, 5,000 some, yeah.
In 2 hours.
Yeah. No, that's all. I didn't even thought about that part.
That's the key.
It's a lot.
Especially since he has a jibber jabber in the middle of every single one of them to the woman that's there.
Somebody figure out how many baskets per minute that is. Oh, God. So Eric Bischoff is in his office with Hugh Morris. He's mad at Hugh for something. And he says, Hugh, tonight you will face Scott Steiner and Jeff Jarrett in a 3-way match. And if any of your misfits in action interfere, they'll be fired. You're what now? When did this? What?
This must have happened on Thunder. That's the only
Quickly.
place.
There was no tease to it. There was no build to it. There are now misfits in action.
By my calculations, he would have to shoot approximately 40
Free throws.
baskets per minute.
That's a lot.
For 2 straight hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No time for talking.
Well,
that's for sure.
he would have had to make up for a lot of lost time after these promos too.
So actually, I would suspect they probably shot about 200 baskets by the time that Mr. Perfect showed up.
Yeah. Oh, spoiler, dude. So anyway, yeah, the misfits in action are a thing now. Here's where I wrote, I hate this show.
What, Wall versus Horace?
No, even before that. The Hugh Morris thing with the misfits in action, just with no explanation, now they're a thing. The Wall versus Hugh Morris.
In the second match on the show.
In the second match on the show.
It's been a half hour.
In a tables match.
Yes.
The Wall versus Horace in a tables match. Why is The Wall fighting Horace? Why is The Wall fighting Horace in a tables match? Why is there a tables match on Nitro? What's going on?
Where has Horace Hogan been?
Where has Horace Hogan been?
Who gives a shit about all these questions? Let's talk about the match. Match was horrible. I have no idea who won. Wait, Wall won, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know how. But I wrote Wall wins.
Wall wins, yeah.
It's literally all I wrote.
Okay, he went to a table, so he won.
Sure.
Hogan hits the ring. He starts beating up Kidman in the wall. Mike Awesome hits the ring. Hogan is brawling with everybody. And finally, Awesome has to put him through this table. Mm-hmm. Awesome normally does the top rope powerbomb. Hogan ain't taking no fucking top rope powerbomb.
Thank God, actually.
So Hogan gets on the middle rope, and Mike Awesome does a sunset flip powerbomb, putting Hulk Hogan through a fucking table.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
That's pretty impressive.
Also, Mrs. Hancock was out here scouting.
Yeah, Miss Hancock, her gimmick here is like what Lacey was doing before Mania. She just comes out for no reason, then nothing happens.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, the moment that Hulk Hogan gets powerbombed through a table with Mike Awesome,
to the cemetery.
to the back.
Yep.
To the very back.
There was a lot of this tonight.
So Vampiro's in a graveyard now. This is his dream. This is his home. Asks Sting to come and play and says, Curiosity killed the Scorpion.
That's not how that goes.
I don't think Scorpions are capable of curiosity, actually. Russo drags Liz to the ring, calls out Lex, threatens to rack his ass, drags her back to the back.
Yep.
Lex still can't find him?
Nah. Tough guy, Vince Russo.
Here's what I wrote here. Jarrett's back and I have no idea why. Does he have a match now? What's going on?
Yeah, because remember, Bischoff signed Hugh Morris to
the 3-way.
Now, here's what I can't figure out. Scott Steiner's been a fucking babyface now for 3 weeks. This doesn't even compute in my mind. How is he a babyface?
There was the one show where he challenged Jarrett.
He's a fucking babyface here too.
Well, kinda, because he's still working with Jarrett to double team Hugh.
Yeah, but then they turn on each other.
Yes, because nobody can have friends in WCW.
Yes.
Wait a minute. This Scott Steiner babyface ripping up signs of fans and
Fuck, I don't
berating
know.
them.
All I know is him and Jarrett are feuding, and Jarrett absolutely is a top heel.
That's true.
Okay.
That I can confirm.
Steiner's
Steiner's a
in the
dumbass.
recliner.
He keeps turning his back, and Jarrett goes for pins, and Steiner turns around and goes, hey! And keep going. So, yeah, Steiner hooks a recliner, and Jarrett hits him with a guitar. Jarrett leaves. That's how much the match meant to him.
Yeah.
And Hugh gets the pin on Scott. And those misfits in action hit the ring, and it's to the graveyard! Because it's very important to show Sting looking for Vampiro in the dark before we go to break.
No, what it is, Vinny, it's very important to not get anything over.
Well,
Which they're successfully doing on this
they
show
did a
here.
fine job of that. Bischoff fires the Misfits in action.
This is the very first Nitro we've ever seen the Misfits in action, and they've already been fired.
Yes.
Not even a fucking week.
No.
That's not even the least of our worries, by the way.
4 days.
Russo preps for his match backstage. And we get Sting and Vampiro in what I guess was the graveyard match.
Did you see it? I didn't see any of it.
Now,
I shot shit like this when I was in high school. Horror movies. It's all better than
I know,
this.
Brian, you're not big on pop culture, and I'm honestly not that much either. I do not watch Game of Thrones, but I am aware of it, and I'm aware there's a huge episode this weekend that some people thought was a bad episode because it was shot in a very dark manner. And even before the show aired, I saw tweets from people saying, everyone turn your brightness way up. I guess they knew it was going to happen. So some people loved the show. Some people thought it was too dark. It was controversial. Point being, I know where they got that idea.
Oh, fuck. They didn't watch
They watched the graveyard match
Oh, fuck off.
in May of 2000 and said, hey, here's a fight in the dark where we can't fucking see. Let's make a whole TV show about it.
I know enough about Game of Thrones to know that those people were not watching fucking Nitro.
It's like he's taking me seriously.
I know.
Is this creepy or what? Asks Tony.
So they do.
No, it's not creepy.
No, it's cartoon.
It's two guys playing in the fucking dark.
It is literally, there's a point where Vampiro jumps him, and you see Vampiro raise his arms overhead, and as he swings down, it's pure blackness. I couldn't see what he was doing or who he was hitting. This goes on for a while.
Vamp hits him with a shovel.
They brawl over what we are told is an open grave, but I can't see it. The fighting stops. Vampiro takes the time to tear a headstone from the earth. I don't want to encourage vandalism, but if you're ever at a cemetery and you see a headstone, try to lift it. Let me know how that goes.
I pretended like he was heavy.
Vampiro tears it out of the
He's
earth.
very strong.
Sting looks at this man holding a tombstone and says, "Who are you?" And Vampiro says, "I'm the monster you should have been." And Vampiro breaks the tombstone over Sting's head.
No, he swings the tombstone, and the tombstone explodes
Like it was made of salt.
like the Death Star. Shards of shit go flying.
Thanos snapped his fingers, and the tombstone went...
It did not break in half. It burst.
Spoiler alert.
It burst
The
into
last movie.
fragments. And fucking Sting falls into this grave. And these goddamn announcers are explaining to me, a grown-ass man, that Sting may be dead. They explain to me that, well, the tombstone broke, so clearly his head must have been smashed to bits. That's what they said, smashed to bits.
It should have been, yes.
His fucking head was smashed to bits. He fell into an open grave. They're telling us that he must be dead, okay? It's pretty fucking serious.
Dead. He's dead.
Yeah, that's serious.
So they go to leave, and all of a sudden they zoom in on pitch black. They scream, "What is that?" Well, we can't fucking see what it is.
Nope.
And they're on these tiny little black and white monitors, so they can't see. But they know it's Sting's hand. And so they scream, and I quote, "He's alive!" Are you kidding me?
What an all-time horrible segment.
But Vinny, guess what? It gets worse.
Okay.
What do you mean, okay?
I know. I'm saying okay, let's move on and get to it. I'm not, that was not an okay of disagreement.
You better not be. It gets way worse than this. And I thought this was as bad as it could get.
Lex Luger's warming up backstage. Dallas Page versus Tank Abbott.
Even these fucking people know. Lock the guy's friends in a room. Otherwise, why don't his friends come out? Well, they locked Canyon and Arquette in their room.
Yes.
Grave concern that Arquette might help DDP beat Tank Abbott.
You never know. So, this is actually, for what it was very good. Page is angry, so he gets in a brawl with Tank Abbott. This is a dumb idea because Tank hits really fucking hard. So Page goes down. They tease a knockout finish. Tank's walking to the back, but Page, as dumb as he is a hero and fights to his feet. The first guy to fight to his feet after being almost knocked out by
Do I need to tell you how irate Goldberg was when he watched this on television? Because they were building up Tank Abbott for Goldberg.
Yeah.
They just killed his finish right here.
Oh, they did. They did. Regardless, Tank goes back to the ring. The match continues. Jarrett attacks Page. Tank wins by knockout.
He hits him with a bottle. This fucking bottle.
I forgot about this segment. So they're brawling on the floor.
Yes.
And there's Jarrett's got like a baseball hat on, right? It's not like a disguise. Do you have a mask on? I can't remember. There's so much bullshit going on.
Towards the crowd.
Yes.
All you need to know is he hit him with a bottle.
He hits him, and I say, okay, he hit him. And then we are told, was that a bottle? I think he hit him with a bottle. And I think on replay you could see it, but there's a long discussion about whether it was a bottle because you couldn't even tell what he hit him with.
Now, the camera work was horrible. I was clued up a while back, and it said, watch the front row after the bottle gets swung. There was people pawing at their face. One guy is like, he's got his fingers in his eyes, and he's rubbing his eyes. Oh my gosh.
So what we discovered here is that Nitro is so bad it will literally strike you blind.
And by the way, he fell down on the ground and the referee stopped the match, so I guess it was false count anywhere.
Apparently.
Knockouts count anywhere.
Didn't count him out.
They cut backstage where Eric Bischoff has no reaction. He had to have been stoned.
The crowd was so desperately turning on the show at this point.
Well,
David Arquette has a panic attack. He has to fight Tank Abbott now. Dallas Page is put on a gurney, loaded into an ambulance. He's being taken to the emergency room. We cut backstage where Hulk Hogan, the biggest star in the company, and Mike Awesome are brawling. It's a heck of a brawl, and then it's to the ring.
yeah.
We must cut away from this brawl to show what's happening in the ring because Billy Kidman's cutting a promo.
Was this ever a horrible promo or what?
Has he ever cut a good promo?
No.
Has he ever cut a promo that was better than horrible? They're horrible every week.
Calls the old guys washed up pieces of trash. This kid is looking for some action, he says, as he's cutting this ungodly terrible promo.
I was working so hard to pay attention to this.
Nash shows up backstage. Terry Taylor also a washed up piece of trash, I guess, because he says, Nash, you should go kick this kid's ass.
What he actually said was, hey, you're late. And Nash replies, that's my gimmick. I'm always late. Then Rooster says, this guy's coming out washed up pieces of trash like you.
And Nash goes, where's the ring? So Nash goes down to the ring, and he fucking makes a fool out of Kidman. Just beats him like a pinball. Just embarrassing. And who should run down to attack Kevin Nash but Conan and Rey Mysterio?
Yeah.
Okay? At which point Scott Hudson screams, they don't even work for us. What? What? Did I miss a fucking angle where Rey Mysterio and Conan no longer work for WCW?
I believe, and you would know this better than I as the guy who wrote the book on it, but as I believe, they asked for their releases along with the Radicals.
They didn't get them.
But they had not been seen since.
Well, neither did Shane Douglas.
But no one knew that watching the fucking show.
But now you can paint you can paint them as outsiders. You can
But
call it
nobody
invasion.
knew that watching the show is my fucking point. No viewer knew that they asked for their fucking release and weren't granted.
No, they haven't been seen in 2 months or whatever it's been. More than that, actually.
Dude.
So,
Did you or did you not, Vinny, say, where has Horace been?
I did say that.
Okay, where have they been? I don't know, but who fucking said that they didn't work for WCW anymore?
I don't know.
It's fucking ridiculous. And Ray can barely walk.
Mm-hmm.
Nash can't fucking walk.
No.
And they all have to do a chase scene.
Yes.
Nash had to do a walk-in.
Ray runs backstage, and as he's looking for Nash, he trips over a goddamn cord and fucking nearly breaks his leg again.
I think he faked this to give an excuse for Nash catching up.
It was legitimate.
He legit tripped over
He
this thing.
legit tripped over because he's looking the wrong way.
I see.
Nash is trying to run. He can't even walk.
No.
He's fucking limping all over the place, dragging his leg behind him. This was so bad. Was this so important that you had to bring Ray and Nash back to run? I'll tell you, no, it was not that important.
Well, he didn't even get to the end yet. Conan jumps in the driver's seat of a truck.
Oh, God.
Billy Kidman jumps in the passenger seat of a truck. Ray jumps in the back of the truck, and they go to drive away.
This was so WCW.
The pickup truck dies. And the truck, the vehicle, the internal combustion engine, cannot escape the speed of Kevin Nash. And Nash was not supposed to catch them. He, walks up to the car that's there, because he's supposed to jump in the car and drive after them. And he opens the door, and he looks and realizes, fuck, Ray's right here. And he slams the door and starts throwing punches at Ray, and they go to break right away.
Actually, the car didn't die. As they were going up the ramp, there was a car in the way. They tried to swerve around, and another car was coming the other way because nobody had the sense to clear the area so they could actually film.
So they go to break, and I guess during the break they realize how shitty this looked. I thought we can't just leave it like that. We got to do something after the break. So after the break, like Ray's down on the ground and Conan's down in the truck and Nash is hitting everything with the crowbar and smashing windows or whatever. Swell. Oh, by the way, also, when Nash and Rooster were having the conversation backstage, we could still hear Kidman's promo over them, and somewhere in there, Kidman promised to beat up Linda Hogan.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Vince Russo versus Lex Luger. Russo cuts a promo wherein he promises, I will interfere at Slamboree and I will kick Ric Flair's ass. Okay. Says if Lex beats him tonight, he will turn over the key to Elizabeth. He will stop kidnapping her. Immediately, Buff and Shane are brawling with Lex and Flair. Lex Luger is maced. He is handcuffed. They destroy his testicles. And Vince Russo, the on-screen, in-script, stupidest character in the history of pro wrestling, hands a baseball bat to Miss Elizabeth and says, finish him. Why? Not for a single second, not for one single frame of screen time has Liz given any indication that she will do what Russo says, that she's on his side. So Liz, who is not an idiot, hits Russo with a baseball bat and runs away.
Wait. She ran away? How'd she run away?
Well, she hit him with the bat and he dropped the leash.
Yeah.
He was just holding it?
Yes.
Also,
Oh, my fucking God.
Yes.
What an idiot. He
So
even handcuffed it to himself?
No. It was a leash, and she ran away. So she's running away, and Shane's calling her a whore. Chronic appears. This is still one segment. Security is out there. Chronic starts beating up security guards and beating up Shane and beating up Buff. There are police officers in the ring. The fight continues. Chronic is press slamming security guards around, and they turn around, and Bryan Adams and Brian Clark became the second and third person in this one segment in two separate incidents to get maced.
I'm so bored.
It's a horrible show.
It is beyond
We are
wretched.
the end is in sight.
It is.
We're like 3/4 away.
I was talking about Arquette. He's freaking out the canyon.
Yep.
Then Nash is destroying a car with a crowbar.
Yep.
So Conan is in the car, or at least there's a body in there.
Yeah.
And Nash is hitting the windows and fucking glass. And don't even tell me this fucking sugar glass, you assholes.
Yep.
Fucking glass is flying everywhere.
Yep.
He's smashing the windows. He's smashing the top of the fucking truck. This company lost $62 million. Did we need to destroy a goddamn truck for this stupid angle?
We did not.
The answer is no, we didn't.
It produced $0 in revenue, I can tell you
But
that.
they destroyed it, and they put Nash's eyes and face and beautiful mane in danger, and Conan's body in that fucking car in danger, after he had to fucking run on a bad knee, and Ray had to run on a fucking bad knee. This is bullshit. I'm sick of this show. Then fucking Vampiro comes out, starts cutting a promo on Sting. The lights go out, and I swear to God, this is my thought process. The lights go out, and I thought, there's no way. There's no way Sting is back tonight. There's no way. The fucking lights go out, and I'm thinking this, and all of a sudden, near the Titantron, or whatever they fucking call it, the Nitrotron, there's a fucking crow.
Would you have known this if they had not told you? There's a camera on the screen.
No, of course you wouldn't have.
They're showing the entire big giant Titantron from ground level.
Yes.
And at the bottom, 10% of the screen, yeah, there's a bird.
Okay, but the point is, there's a fucking bird on the Titantron.
Yes.
And I thought, okay, so the story is that they brawled in a stupid cemetery, and Vampiro broke a stupid headstone over his stupid head, and he fell into a stupid hole.
Right.
Okay? They said he was stupid dead.
Sure.
The stupid angle. Okay? So now Vampiro comes out, but the lights go out, and a goddamn crow shows up.
That's right.
Fine, okay?
Yes.
Fine. All right? This is not my wrestling, but fine. Next week, the crow can be in the aisle.
Sure.
Then the next week, the crow can be at ringside. The week after that, the crow can be on the fucking ring post. And then the week after that, it's fucking Sting.
Yeah. Build to it.
They show this fucking bird, and, like, Vampiro's distracted by a bird.
Yeah.
How did
a
he see
black
the
bird
Yeah.
on a black screen in a black building. You can see this fucking bird.
And was the
He's got
cemetery-
night vision.
Was the cemetery across the street? How did he get back so quick?
The fucking point of this is, all of a sudden, falling from the goddamn heavens at Mach speed is Sting.
Yes.
He fucking nearly breaks his legs for the third goddamn week in a row, landing so hard on the fucking ground. He's back.
He's fine.
Yep.
And you know what? Something else you neglected to mention, which makes me even more mad. Okay?
I'm listening.
Last week on this fucking show, Sting's in the middle of the ring, and blood drops from the fucking ceiling and covers him. He's covered in blood.
That was it. Yes. Okay. Yes.
So, you neglected to mention, Vinny, when they showed the clips from Thunder, Sting's running wild covered in blood.
48 hours later.
There was not another bloodbath on Thunder.
No.
This fucking guy, apparently, got covered in blood, didn't take a shower Monday night.
No. Didn't change clothes.
Got in his goddamn rental car.
Sure.
I presume, maybe it was in driving distance.
That's 2 days
later. But,
later.
if he had to get on a goddamn airplane, he went through fucking customs, pre-2001, covered in fucking blood head to toe.
Yeah. That didn't
he didn't shower on Tuesday.
That didn't raise an eyebrow.
He didn't shower on Wednesday.
No.
He got into the building and he ran wild covered in blood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Well, he got hit with a goddamn tombstone that cracked his skull and left him for dead, as we're told.
Smashed
he
into
falls into a fucking hole in the ground. He's a dead man.
Right.
He comes back here not even 2 hours later.
Less than an hour.
Not even Raw and Warzone. Like he came back on another fucking show.
Yeah.
No, not even an hour. This fucking guy comes back, and not only is he running wild, he ain't got a fucking scratch on him.
No, he's fine.
He's not bleeding.
No.
He's not even his paint's fucked up.
No.
There was no dirt on him.
We watched that Ric Flair match where Ric Flair dropped a knee on him and took the fucking paint off his face.
Yeah.
This guy got in with a fucking tombstone, and he comes back in here, not a scratch on him. And he beats the shit out of Vampiro and lays him out. Like, are you kidding me?
That's
Are
what
you
happened.
fucking kidding me?
That's what happened.
And then this dude returns from the fucking dead. He beats up Vampiro, but we got to cut away because Sean Stasiak is sinking hoops.
That is.
Fuck you.
That's all fact.
One of the worst shows I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
By the way, before the Vampiro promo, Ric Flair and Lex Luger and Chronic were all arrested.
Yes.
Oh, and then after Stasiak is shooting hoops, we go backstage and guess what we see? Russo is yelling at Liz.
Wait, who?
Russo has got Liz. She ran off.
So
now they're together in a room.
I watched her flee.
Yeah.
I did too.
She was free and clear. She ran backstage, and then instead of running to a car or running out of the building, she ran to a locker room.
No, Vinny. She ran back to his locker room.
Remember earlier when I said Liz wasn't stupid? My bad. Liz,
this show,
Miss Elizabeth on the show was as dumb as Vince Russo on this show.
No one's dumber than Vince Russo.
I said as dumb.
He's dumber than she is. This show proves it.
Regardless, I have no sympathy for this Liz character being kidnapped. She deserves to be kidnapped. She needs to be kidnapped. Someone can watch over her. Russo confronts her. She slaps him.
She laid into him, too.
Good. Tank Abbott versus David Arquette. They got fucking... Every time they go to Bischoff and his crew watching them backstage, he's just silent and catatonic. He's as bored of the show as everyone else is. They're doing shit. Paige drives up in an ambulance. Dallas Page also no-sells the knockout from the bottle and the knockout from the punch. Drives the ambulance back to the building. There's music playing. Bischoff gives Jarrett some orders, and as Bischoff is giving Jarrett orders, we miss Paige hitting Tank Abbott with a diamond cutter.
Hey, can we mention that DDP, when he returns, David Arquette's still in the ring with Tank Abbott. Tank Abbott gives him a body slam, and the announcers alert us that his life is in the balance. His life is in the balance.
I actually can believe that Tank Abbott killed David Arquette with a body slam.
Sting got hit with a fucking tombstone, and he's fine.
Yeah.
And Arquette's life is in the balance because he got body slammed.
Point taken.
I hate this show.
Point taken. So Arquette's on top. The ref counts 3, and Arquette wins.
Tank took a heck of a bump for the diamond cutter.
I totally forgot that Arquette had a win over Tank Abbott.
Until right now.
Jesus Christ almighty.
Yes.
You're Goldberg, okay? These assholes wanted you to punch a hole through a fucking limo window, and you scratched up your fucking arm, and you tore tendons, and you literally almost had to retire. And you go home, and you haven't been seen, and they're building up Tank Abbott for you to return to. Because you're a shooter, and he's a shooter. And the two of you are going to go out there and beat the shit out of each other in a big fucking match. You're sitting there watching on television, and fucking Tank Abbott punches out DDP, who no-sells his punch. And then later in the show, Tank Abbott is pinned by David fucking Arquette.
Correct.
I'm done.
We go to break. We come back. Scott Steiner, during the break, attacks Jeff Jarrett. I guess he's a babyface now, I suppose.
Knocked him out.
Back in the gymnasium, Sean Stasiak is one shot away from the world record. If he makes one more basket, he sets the record for consecutive free throws. And he's about to shoot when Kurt Hennig lays him out from behind. This counts as breaking the streak, and he gets no record.
Should have been a DQ.
He should have gotten to stand up and do another shot.
Yes.
So yes, I mean, it gets lost in the shuffle of all the dumb bullshit in the show, but it's just dumb. In the main event, Hulk Hogan versus Mike Awesome.
Okay, listen to me. In case this ends up on YouTube, I'm going to preemptively respond to the brain-dead shitheads that are going to invariably say the following. Last week on this show, Bryan said that Mike Awesome is the guy who should have beaten Hulk Hogan. Now, Mike Awesome beats Hulk Hogan, and Bryan's mad. He's an idiot. No, you're a fucking idiot.
Well, they are.
If fucking Hulk Hogan is going to lose to somebody, then yes, they should have built up Mike Awesome and had Mike Awesome beat Hulk Hogan. I said that, okay? If Billy fucking Kidman has beaten Hulk Hogan 2 times, then the last thing that we need to do is have Hulk Hogan lose a 3rd time to Mike Awesome in a match on this show.
They shouldn't have booked this match.
Hulk Hogan has been beaten now 3 times randomly in nothing happening matches. Like, what? This was so stupid. If they would have just waited and Billy Kidman never beat Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan went on a tear and Mike Awesome went on a tear, and then you put this fucking match on pay-per-view, and without outside interference, Mike Awesome put Hulk Hogan through a table and pinned him, now you got something. Instead, this Hulk Hogan is a loser. This fucking geek lost to Billy Kidman twice. This loser goes in with Mike Awesome. There's a bunch of bullshit, and Mike Awesome beats Hulk Hogan after Kidman waffles Hulk Hogan with a chair. This didn't help Mike Awesome. This didn't help Billy Kidman. This didn't help Hulk Hogan. This hurt everybody.
Hulk Hogan 3 times, not only beaten badly and bloody every time.
He's bleeding every week now. Yeah, he's Dusty Rhodes. I'm going to read 2 sentences from my notes here, Brian.
Please.
They had a really good brawl in the main event. If this company had any kind of clue, Awesome Hogan would have been a great main event program. Basically confirming what you just said.
Well, they don't have a clue.
They do not have a clue.
They thought everyone could beat Hulk Hogan, and they'll all get over.
Not only that,
It's free money. It's a perpetual motion machine.
but we'll have Mike Awesome beat him on the or the TV show to set up Kidman getting the match of the pay-per-view.
Right.
Yes.
Every time Kidman and Hogan are in the ring together, it sucks.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Every time Awesome and Hogan are together, it's great.
Yes.
Mike Awesome works so good with Hulk Hogan.
But it's too late.
It is too late.
They've damaged Hogan
If
already.
he had showed up as the undefeated reigning champion from another promotion,
Yes.
and he starts laying waste to everybody,
Yes.
and he can outfly the cruiserweights,
Yes.
he can outbrawl the hardcore dudes,
Yes.
he can power the giants around,
Indeed.
He's an unstoppable threat. He puts Hogan through a table, and then you do Mike Awesome versus Hogan on pay-per-view. Oh my god, that would have ruled. But no, we got 0 of that because these people are fucking stupid. So,
And by the way, did they advertise this match at all on this show?
I don't even know.
Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I certainly can't say they
I don't
did.
think they did. I think they were going to do Mike Awesome Hulk Hogan unannounced at the end of Nitro.
Yeah. So Awesome wins to set up Kidman Hogan on Sunday. Hogan gets up. He's attacking with chairs. A fan in a Sting mask hits the ring.
The announcer has no clue.
Do you want to know the best part about this, Vinny?
Yes.
It wasn't a fan.
It was the
What?
plant.
It was a plant.
I watched it like 6 times trying to determine.
They thought it would be cool, and it's stupid.
How? Why?
Makes it seem like the product's hot.
I guess to entice fans in other cities to also run in.
That's what happens.
Okay.
That's what happens every time a promotion does this.
So, I was on the fence. I decided, after watching it several times, that it was probably a legit fan. But regardless, the fan's in the ring. He's in a Sting mask. Hogan sees him, and the front fan runs out of the ring. And then the blood pours from the ceiling and lays Hogan out. And all I was thinking was, it would have been so much better if that fan had been covered in blood, too.
Yes.
So the blood lays out Hogan. They beat him up. The show ends.
One of the all-time worst episodes of Nitro I've ever seen in my entire life. The finish is, Vinny.
Let's do this and get out of here. Let's do this and get out of here.
Would you shut up?
The finishes on this miserable, awful show were some kind of stupid fucking bullshit in a match with a goddamn mascot. Win after interference in a tables match. Pin in a 3-way after one dude hit another with a guitar. Then left. Knockout after interference by a guy who may or may not have used a weapon. No contest due to security and mace and handcuffs and chronics and cops and more mace. Pin after interference. Pin after interference and chair shot.
That's it.